Alright. Ding dong, the witch is dead. Which old witch? The wicked witch. Ding dong, the witch is dead. Hello, hi, welcome. The name of the show is Politics. Although I call it Politrix, and the title of this episode is Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. My name is Presh.
And I'm Ty.
And we've finally gotten rid of our worst player. Henderson has been sold to some team in Saudi Arabia. Right. In the past, I've compared him to a Make-A-Wish child playing in the Champions League final. Right. But in hindsight, I recognize I was being harsh and rude.
Okay.
To the abilities of the Make-A-Wish child. So like a week before this happened, there were genuinely people in the Liverpool subreddit who were like predicting that last season was just a blip and he'd be back to top form this season. I just don't understand how it's possible to be that fucking stupid, right?
Okay.
You'd have to be the product of several generations of inbreeding to have that opinion. Like, once again, let's be clear. This guy has been absolute rubbish since day one.
Okay.
Right. Saying, quote, back to top form, end quote, implies that this guy had any form to begin with. Right. Some people may say, well, Presh, there's no need to be rude. At the end of the day, he was still club captain and served the club loyally for 12 years.
That is true.
So firstly, I'm in a the once and future king style situation with Steven Gerrard. Right. Okay. He is my captain.
Yes.
I recognize that Henderson won an armband with the letter C on it.
Yes. But
I've never thought of the word captain.
Okay.
I just always assumed that it stood for cunt.
Just an armband.
Secondly, he kicked up a fuss in 2021 that he wanted to leave, right?
Right.
Because they didn't want to extend his contract.
Okay.
So in 2021, the contract was going to expire this year.
Right.
But they gave him an extension.
Okay. Sorry,
not this year, last year.
Okay. Yeah, right. It was meant to expire last year.
Yes.
And then they gave him an extension.
Right?
Right.
So, he caused a big fuss. That nearly derailed our preseason a couple of years ago.
Oh.
So that's not serving loyally, first of all.
Yeah.
Second of all, like I've been saying, he's been one of the worst players that's ever played for the club, right?
Yeah.
It's just... like, this is the thing. I don't know if racism plays a part in it.
Okay.
Like, the person that I usually see this in contrast to is Naby Keita.
Yeah.
And sorry, listeners, I know this is a movie podcast, but fuck you. Henderson has left. I'm having the time of my life over here.
It's a football podcast now.
Yeah. Look, Keita, we play like around 50 games in a season.
Yes.
Keita was injured for 40 of them.
Yes.
On average.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
But in those 10 games, he would put up at least an 8 out of 10 in every game.
Yes.
This Henderson donkey played all 50 games, dropped a 0 in every single one of them. A 0.
Although...
No, there's no although.
It's impressive consistency.
No, it's just different types of bad. Like, he's not even consistently bad. Like, there'll be times when like he'll be in a good attacking position.
Yeah.
With 3 players to aim for.
Yeah.
And the ball will go in the opposite direction and end up in row Z. That's one thing. Second of all, defensively, he keeps being like praised for his defensive contributions.
Yes.
But it's like I can show you like so many games where he'll make 10 mistakes and then do 2 things well. And people will be like, oh, look at that. He's the best. He's done so much for us. It's like, bro, did you watch the other fucking 89 minutes? This guy is rubbish. You can't believe how glad I am to be rid of this fuck. Right? Anyway, in conclusion, R.I.P. Bozo. You will not be missed. Goodbye, bitch. So, into the cleanup.
Okay.
So I'd like to apologize for the quality of episodes for the past few weeks.
Okay.
So like for me, well, I don't want to speak for you, I'm speaking for me.
Yeah.
So like in my notes and stuff, like I haven't been done with like writing out notes for the movie. Certain news stories, like I wasn't fully informed about them. Like I would just take a clip from, not a clip, what's the word, like copy and paste a piece of an article.
Yeah.
And I would be like, hey, what's the context of this? Like on episode, instead of like, you know, researching beforehand.
Yeah.
That's generally what people do, you know.
Generally, yeah.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, it will be continuing this week.
Oh, okay. Nice.
I'm apologizing to make sure you understand. Just know I also understand, but that doesn't mean it's going to stop, right?
Okay.
It just potentially, and I'm hoping from next week,
Yes.
we can, I can come in with some capital P professionalism.
Okay.
But definitely not this week. If you were like, all right, Pressure's had a rough couple of weeks and is going to be back to form this week. You're sorely mistaken. Just like the people in the Liverpool subreddit about Henderson.
The last few weeks were a blip. He's back.
To tell you that there was a blip and it's continuing. The second thing, both of these aren't really cleanup, but I just thought I'd mention them, right?
Okay.
I'm thinking about getting rid of commentaries.
Okay.
And we do something different.
Okay.
Like, we may not necessarily get rid of it entirely. Like, so we have 4 podcasts in a month.
Yes.
A month is 4 weeks.
Yes.
So, right, we do an episode every week, but we also do 4 commentaries.
Yes.
So we could do 1 commentary,
Mhm.
and then those other 3 weeks, different types of...
Other extra content.
Yes.
Yes.
Because the main problem is, like, if there's a sound issue.
Yeah.
Like, if we fuck up, there's like a 10-minute loud sound on the main feed, and I'm not just talking about our voices.
Yeah.
Like a sound that fucks up the episode.
Yeah.
Once again, I'm not talking about our voices. I can easily cut out that 10 minutes out.
Yes.
But with a commentary, you know, you really
We don't
can't do
get that,
anything.
yeah.
Right? It's you're just gonna have to sit there with like a squealing mic or whatever
Yeah.
whatever the audio issue is. So to kind of cut down on that, I'm thinking 1 commentary, and then we can actually talk about this off mic. But
Yes.
no, but I also just want to let the listeners know, like, you know,
Well.
and like they can write in and say, no, I like the commentaries or
Yeah.
whatever, right?
Fair enough. Yeah.
So write in, listeners.
Yeah.
But logistically, I don't think it makes sense to do 4 commentaries,
Okay. Yeah.
per month.
I mean, we'll get back to that at some point, I guess, in the near future, with an update to the listeners about exactly what the plan is.
Sure. But I'm just floating that idea out there, putting it out into the ether. If anybody comes across it, I'm like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah, listeners, write in if that's something that you, if you agree with, or if you don't agree, why don't you agree with it?
Yeah.
Whatever your thoughts.
Yeah.
Do you have any cleanup?
No, not really.
So once again, the place is a fucking pigsty. You won't clean up a damn thing. Alright, let's move on to the news. So last week we spoke about the Writers Guild of America, the WGA, going on strike.
Uh-huh.
So this quote comes from Deadline.
Okay.
Quote, receiving positive feedback from Wall Street since the WGA went on strike on the 2nd of May, Warner Brothers Discovery, Apple, Netflix, Amazon, Disney, Paramount, and others have become determined to, quote, break the WGA, end quote, as one studio exec blatantly put it.
Okay.
To do so, the studios and the AMPTP, which stands for the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers, so I might just refer to them as the producers.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, either AMTP or the producers.
Okay.
All right, believe that by October most writers will be running out of money after 5 months on the picket lines and no work.
I actually saw something about this from a writer, and they were saying at some point in their career, all writers have not had enough money to have a house or apartment or whatever. So this won't really affect them as much because they would have been used to doing these things anyway.
I also read that tweet, and while I agree with the sentiment that, like, we've been in the trenches, we can survive in the trenches.
Yeah.
It still sucks to not be getting paid and getting new work,
That is true.
So,
Yes.
while I agree with the sentiment, I don't think that's the correct mentality.
Reasonable.
But
yeah.
who am I to tell him how to feel? He's a person actually going through this. So,
Yeah.
Whatever.
Whatever.
Right. So, quote, the end game is to allow things to drag on until union members start losing their apartments and losing their houses, end quote, a studio executive told Deadline. Acknowledging the cold as ice approach, several other sources reiterated the statement. One insider called it a quote, cruel but necessary evil, end quote. The studios and streamers next think financially strapped writers would go to the WGA leadership and demand their restart talks before what could be a very cold Christmas. In that context, the studios and streamers feel that they would be in a position to dictate most of the terms of any possible deal, end quote. Oh, sorry, that quote was to end the article.
All right, okay,
that wasn't a end of a quotation.
Within the article. Yeah.
Okay. So first of all, I encourage you to read the full article.
Okay.
They say that other members of the AMPTP have disavowed the statement and said it does not represent all of them, etc.
Okay.
Like, just I'm saying, if you want the full context for it.
Yeah.
Right? However, I'm only saying that to be fair.
Okay.
The fact that not all of them believe this is irrelevant, right?
Okay. Yeah.
If you're in a negotiation and a small group of people believe this,
yes.
They may not vote to, like, say the WGA put forward a reasonable agreement.
Yes.
And 70% of the producers agree to it.
Yeah.
That 30% who think like this are like, well, we shouldn't agree to this, let's prolong it to
drain them.
Yeah, to get a better deal for us, a much worse deal for them.
Yeah.
Right? So yeah. so you're supposed to enter negotiations under something called good faith.
Oh.
Right?
Really?
If you do something in good faith, you seriously believe that what you're doing is right, honest, or legal. Even though this may not be the case.
Yeah.
Right? So, perhaps you're being lied to.
Yeah.
Or something like that. But as long as you entered in good faith and operated under good faith, you're fine.
Yeah.
Right? But, yeah. So, like I was saying, even one member of the AMTP not entering the negotiation in good faith is a bad sign.
Yes.
Right? It taints the whole negotiation.
Yeah.
But as the article is saying, it's multiple people, not just this hypothetical one that I'm putting out there, right?
Yeah.
So, reading this made me so angry. I really don't know how it's possible to be this cruel.
Yeah.
And, like, it's still cruel, but I understand how you could want somebody to lose their house.
Yeah.
Right? There are lots of people that are so evil, you just want bad things to happen to them.
Yeah.
But in this scenario,
this is not one of those.
The AMTP work with the writers, to create. Right? The producers only make money because of the movies these writers wrote, or TV shows as well. Sorry, not just the movies.
Yeah.
Just the entertainment industry.
Yes.
These people are the reason that you have money in the first place.
Yes.
So how can you? Right? You're supposed to be working with them.
Yes.
You're not supposed to have this open contempt for them.
Yeah.
Right? Some people have put forward the theory that the producers don't actually mean this. They just said it as a tactic to scare people on strike into lowering their demands, or, not making it higher.
Yeah.
Right? And everything I've said still applies. It's still, even if you're using this underhanded technique, that's not entering into a negotiation in good faith.
Yeah.
If you're putting out propaganda in the media to scare people into accepting a worse deal, that's not good faith.
Yeah.
Right? So even if the quote-unquote better scenario of this, where it was just a tactic to scare people instead of something they're actually considering, in both cases it's still bad. So I really don't understand how you can think like this.
Yeah.
First of all, if you do think about it, don't say it out loud. Don't go to Deadline and give them a quote. Oh my God. Let's say you are that evil person. Keep it yourself. Do it when the time comes to do your evil thing. Don't announce I'm going to do it. In James Bond movies, the villain tells him the whole plan. It's like, that's exactly what's happening. Anyway, which leads us into our second story.
Yes.
Right? So last week, SAG-AFTRA the Screen Actors Guild, and American Federation of Television and Radio Artists.
What an acronym.
2 guilds that merged in 2012 will be joining the WGA in their strike, creating a double strike.
Yeah.
Right? It is the first time the writers and actors have gone on strike together since 1960.
That's a long time ago.
So I looked into it a little bit, right?
Yeah.
And this is what happened then. So, SAG strike ended on April 18, 1960, when the Guild agreed to forego residual payments on films made prior to 1960 in exchange for receiving residuals on all films made from 1960 on, as well as a one-time payment of $2.25 million from producers to form a SAG pension and health plan.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
So the actors,
Yeah.
they didn't used to get residuals or
Yes.
back-end payments,
Yeah.
right? On any movies until 1960.
Damn.
So movies started as a business in like the 20s, right?
Okay.
Because like people made movies before that, but it wouldn't become like a
Big deal.
corporate.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like an industry.
Yeah.
Like a few small businesses is not an industry.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
right. So at least 40 years worth of residual payments, they just forewent it so that they could
Provide something for the future.
Yes.
People.
That, and they got that money put in their pension.
Yeah.
2.2 seems like quite low, but nevertheless, it's something, right? And that's a significant thing.
Yeah.
Because, like this article is saying, they didn't have residuals pre-1960.
Yeah.
Post-60, they do.
Yeah.
So that's extremely significant.
Yeah.
Right? The writers' strike, on the other hand, continued until June 12, 1960, when the WGA agreed to a groundbreaking new deal. Gains for the Guild included the first residuals for theatrical motion pictures, payments of 1.2% of the license fee when features were licensed to television. Right?
How does that? So if you...
So I'm the movie studio, right?
Right.
And a TV company wants to license my movie to show on their TV channel.
Yeah.
They pay me $1 million.
Okay.
1.2 of that $1 million go to the writers.
The writers themselves. And then it, does it get split amongst them?
What do you mean? Yes, split amongst the writers.
Okay, yeah.
That 1.2 is for the writers.
Okay. Got you.
Right?
Okay.
And again, I just hope that as I'm explaining this, people at home aren't getting confused, right?
Yeah.
The actors
Yes.
got residuals post 1960 plus the pension.
Right.
The writers have got 1.2 on the license fee for television.
Okay. Yeah.
Right? Continuing on with the writers, an independent pension fund, an industry health insurance plan, and 4% of residuals for both domestic and foreign television reruns.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Well, that was that 1.2 was just the first. Was just the first point.
Right.
Like you should have waited until that. I listed them all. Right.
Right. Okay.
So yes, the fact that it was a double strike
Yes.
put tremendous pressure on the
The film
producers.
industry. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
To strike a deal.
Yeah.
And to do it on very favorable terms, because if you both don't have writers and actors,
Then-
you can't make a movie, right?
Yes.
Or you still can make a movie without writers.
Yeah.
It's just not gonna be as good.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. But whatever. Also, a quick side note: the president of the SAG, so the actors,
Yeah.
who spearheaded the negotiations, was a young actor named Ronald Wilson Reagan.
He was an actor?
Yeah.
Huh.
Did you not know this?
No.
Well, this is why I always, well, I don't say always because we've only mentioned it once, but I said Ronald Reagan was a puppet,
Oh.
right?
Yeah. Yes.
He was literally an actor going senile.
Okay.
A cabal of right-wing people like, Paul Wolfowitz, George H.W. Bush, Elliot Abrams, like, a bunch of right-wing ghouls
Yeah.
put him like as a front man for their cabal of evil stuff, right? Which is why I always say Ronald Reagan, although he represented the most evil in the world, he's not really to blame. He was just an old guy going senile.
Yeah.
That
Right, yeah.
they were taking advantage of him.
Yes.
Like, he's still to blame. He's still definitely in hell. But yeah, it's he was just the front man for the evil,
Okay. Yeah.
right?
Gotcha.
Right, which is hilarious because he was a famously anti-union president, right? He got the benefits of being in the union and then used his power as American president to make sure that other people would not get those benefits, right? He crushed unions or, union power when he was president.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Extreme hypocrite.
Indeed.
But what can we do? Just an unreal piece of shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, the strike of 1960 was a significant win. So what does SAG want this time? I've noticed it. You don't need to.
Okay.
So number one, money. Obviously.
Yeah, makes sense.
SAG wants the AMPTP to provide better compensation and benefits for its members.
Okay.
Very reasonable.
Yeah.
Right. And the main thing is residuals. So current residual payments don't reflect the value of member contributions according to the union. They, quote, undercut by inflation and by streaming ecosystem through which producers pay less residual income than traditional exhibition models.
Can you break that down for me? Because I don't understand what that means.
So it's not necessarily the producer's fault.
Yes.
It's more so the advent of streaming.
Yeah.
Right? Streaming companies are notoriously bad at telling us about their streaming numbers.
Yeah.
Unless they want to brag
Yeah.
about, what is it, Red Notice?
Yeah.
Red Notice has 700 million hits or, views on Netflix.
Yes.
But are the writers being paid for that many streams? No.
Unlikely.
Yes, I'm telling you no.
Okay, cool.
So this is the reason they do that. They obscure their numbers is so that, first of all, they don't pay residuals.
Yeah.
But
okay.
It's different to like TV.
Yeah.
So on TV, every time there's a rerun, because every time those things rerun, there's ads run with them.
Yeah.
So those reruns are making money.
They make the ad revenue.
Yes. So a small portion of that ad revenue from TV reruns used to be sent back to writers, actors, etc.
Yeah, right. Okay.
But on streaming, they don't have ads.
Yeah.
You just stream a thing.
Yeah, you've got the subscription money instead.
So they don't even have residuals in relation to streaming services.
Okay.
They pay a once-off fee.
Right.
And it seems the actors are trying to change that.
Right.
From their side. They're saying, listen, we need to change how, you are the producers, you own the movie.
Yeah.
So when you license it out to a Netflix,
whichever streaming
service,
yeah.
we want you to change the deal so that we do get residuals like we used to.
Right.
That's essentially what they're saying here.
Okay.
Right.
Right.
But again, it's not. I don't want to say this ask is unfair because it's very clear. You are the producer. You can strike a deal with the streamer.
Yeah.
But they should be taking it to the streamer.
Yeah.
To get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But again, like I said, they have no influence over the streamer, so they're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
But from the outside looking in, it doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
It seems like you're taking up the problem with the wrong people.
Yeah.
But again, like I keep saying, they're not taking it up with the wrong people because the producers are the people who strike those deals.
They can negotiate for residuals.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Number 3, generative AI. The union is requesting that the AMPTP provide protections for members against misuse of artificial intelligence as well as definition of acceptable use of technology.
That's very reasonable.
So we've been speaking about, in the recommendation section.
Yeah.
We've been speaking about Secret Invasion.
Yes.
And there was a big hullabaloo, that the opening credits for Secret Invasion, AI was used to create, and people were very upset about that.
Yes.
But Marvel clarified that, okay, just quickly again, what is AI, right? It's fed in a lot of data.
Yes.
It, identifies like patterns in that data.
Yeah.
And then it's expected to, when confronted with new data, to identify those patterns, stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's called, what's it called? Something machine learning.
Yeah, right. Yes, okay.
Right. So what we assumed was Marvel just took a bunch of images off the internet, fed it into AI, and got the opening sequence.
Yeah.
That's not what happened.
Okay.
They created a bunch of art,
Okay.
fed that art into the AI. The AI remixed it
Yeah.
and put out those remixed images,
Okay.
and that's what they used as the opening sequence.
Okay.
So they're using AI as a tool.
Yeah.
It's not replacing any jobs.
Yeah.
It's used in the same way software on your computer would be used.
Yeah.
That use of AI, I think, is perfectly acceptable. It's not taking away somebody else's job.
Yeah, as long as they've already generated the art, like, internally, and then
Yes.
they're using it. As long
Yes.
as they're not feeding in other people's stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's why I wanted to explain the difference between generative AI
Yeah.
and non-generative AI.
Yeah.
Non-generative is they've created the art already, fed it into the AI,
Yeah.
and the AI remixed it.
Yeah.
Non-generative is they don't do any work. They just scour the internet for pictures,
Yeah.
put those pictures into the AI, and the AI spit out a opening credit sequence.
Yeah.
That's totally different,
Yeah.
right? But they've been talking about scanning somebody
Okay.
using AI and then using that image in perpetuity.
Oh, yeah. I've
So
seen
say, and it's mainly for day workers.
Yeah.
So say you're like a background on set.
Yeah.
Right? You go there, what they're proposing is you go there, they scan you, they pay you for that day, and then they can use your image in perpetuity for the rest of time.
Yeah.
Well, that's what perpetuity means.
Yes.
I don't know why I clarified, but yes,
For our listeners that may not know.
sure.
Yeah.
Right? Be ashamed, like every single listener knows what that word means. But yes.
Yes.
So using AI in that way to reproduce people, using they have a few hours of you moving around.
Yeah.
They use that to generate,
Like models of you, pretty
Yes.
much.
Now again, that's not, by our definition here of generative AI.
Yes.
That is using
It's technically using the stuff that they've got
Yes.
internally. But the way they go
but
about
it's
it.
replacing somebody's job,
Yeah.
right? In this case, the actor.
Yes.
So that's why it's important to put down in writing in these contracts. Listen, you can't do that.
Yeah.
It's fucked.
Don't do that.
You're fucking us over.
Yeah.
And that's totally reasonable. And this apparently is what the producers are most against.
Yeah.
This
okay.
clause. For. They're
Oh,
for
okay.
using AI.
Okay. Right. Yeah.
They're against the union asking to not use the AI. That's
Yeah.
what I was saying.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. That's the biggest thing to them.
Okay.
Number 4, self-tapes.
Mm.
Right? Without regulation regarding self-tape auditions, SAG alleges that performers currently face an unfairly arduous casting process. The shift to burdensome and unreasonably demanding self-tape auditions means that our members are working harder than ever, forced to take on audition costs that have always been the responsibility of casting and production. The union statement reads, "So once again, like the WGA, I support the strike." I can't remember what industry it was, but we had the threat of a strike in South Africa.
Okay.
And I saw a tweet saying something to the effect of, "This is bullshit. What makes these people think they're so special and they deserve a raise?
Yeah.
We in..." and then insert industry they work in. Because again, I can't remember. But yeah.
Whatever the industry was.
The people criticizing it,
Yeah.
saying we in whatever it is, aren't getting a raise.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm seeing similar tweets in regard to the strike. People are saying, "Oh, it's bullshit. These Holly weird types aren't special. It's hard for everyone. Why should they get a raise while I'm getting shafted at my job?"
Makes sense. In a way.
Right? And the thing is, I agree, it is bullshit, right? These people aren't special. You should
Okay.
strike too. Right? You should be looking at these people fighting for what they deserve and take hope and inspiration from it. And then apply to your circumstances as well.
Yeah.
Right? Instead of just being jealous of them getting a raise, you should work to get, and not just yourself, the workers around you a raise.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
every worker should be unionized and their union should be fighting for better working conditions for them.
Okay.
There's only one exception to this. One bad union. Can you tell me what this union is?
Dunno.
The police union.
Oh.
Right?
Okay.
The police union
Reasonable.
fights for the police to get away with murder.
Yes.
Do you know what qualified immunity is?
Yes.
Qualified immunity means a police officer can kill somebody and not go to jail.
Yeah.
They'll say, well, it happened in the line of duty, so it's there.
So it's completely fine.
Yes. And that was negotiated for them by the police union, right? Which, by the strict definition of a union, they're working for better working conditions for their workers.
Yeah.
And yes, the police union did their job.
Yeah.
But it's bad for, society at large.
Yeah.
There's only one bad union.
Yeah.
All right, that's all I'm going to say.
Fair enough. Reasonable.
Because, there might be a day when I'm bad-mouthing the police union.
Yeah.
And somebody might jump out of the woodwork and say, but I thought you were pro-union. Very interesting. So you're a hypocrite, Presh. We've caught you. So anyway, our next story is also related and closer to home.
Okay.
Right? The Samunye Workers Forum, the SWF, and the Casual Workers Advice Office, the CWAO, note that the Registrar of Labour Relations has decided to waste tens, maybe hundreds of thousands of rands of public money in appealing the Labour Court decision that ordered him to register the SWF as a trade union by 12 July 2023. Right?
So he's appealing that they told him to register the Workers' Forum as a union.
Yes.
Okay.
So look, the Samunye Workers Forum went to the Labour Relations Board, put forward the application to become a union.
Right.
That application was accepted.
Right.
Now the person, the registrar who's supposed to register them as a trade union,
Yes.
doesn't want to do it. And is appealing the decision.
Okay.
Right?
Interesting.
So in June of 2022, the registrar rejected the SWF's application to register as a union on the grounds that the SWF consciously resolved to not have positions such as General Secretary, President, and Deputy President. Instead, it has a standing committee which takes minutes of all meetings, keeps an attendance register, and controls the collection and spending of membership fees. Each meeting elects a different chairperson and a secretary, at least one of whom is a woman. This ensures that everyone gets a chance to develop skills in meetings procedures and prevents domination by any particular workplace or grouping. In a case brought forward by SWF at the Labour Court in June 2023, the SWF successfully argued that it was a genuine trade union and should be registered. In ruling in favour of the SWF and awarding costs against the registrar, Judge Andre van Niekerk said, The emergence of trade unions that eschew traditional structures is inevitable. Since the LRA, well, that's the Labour Relations Act for, those who don't know.
Yeah, okay.
Since the LRA was brought into operation in 1995, the labour market has changed radically. Workforces, once homogeneous, have fragmented and segmented into core and marginal groups where new, less secure forms of work have emerged. New forms of worker organizations will inevitably emerge to meet these challenges and better serve the interests of the more vulnerable. Ever since the Labour Court ruled in favor of the SWF, literally hundreds of casualized workers have been sending... Ever since the Labour Court ruled in favour of the SWF, literally hundreds of casualised workers have been sending in membership forms to join the SWF. This is because there is no other union willing to represent these workers. Without a union, casualised workers are excluded from having skilled and experienced representatives. Even trained fellow workers represent them in bargaining for wage increases or negotiating health and safety improvements at work, or represent them in the CCMA and Bargaining Council.
What's CCNA?
Fuck. It's like a Labour Court, I'm pretty sure. Right? Let me just Google. Commission for Conciliation, Mediation, and Arbitration.
Ah,
right?
okay.
So again, I think you just go to like a a local labor court
Yeah.
if you're having an issue, and then if they can't resolve it there, it gets
Elevated.
to the CCMA. So it's like
Right.
only more hectic
Issues.
labor relations get sent to the CCMA.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. So yeah, I just knew it was like a labor court. I don't know. I forgot what the acronym meant.
Yeah.
Right. So these fora all repeatedly tell casualized workers that they can only be represented by a registered trade union. The registrar still insists that he will only register trade unions that have office bearers that are elected for long terms of office.
Office.
We also note that Judge Van Niekerk said in his ruling, the registrar is not the gatekeeper for traditional forms of trade union organizations, nor is it his function to question the wisdom of the SWF's choices.
This seems like a very reasonable judge.
Yeah, but yeah, so this again, it's just very. This seems very cut and dry.
Yeah.
Right. We have this group of people that are unionizing.
Yes.
They're usually like casual workers, or like they may be like day laborers,
Yeah.
or they don't have a permanent job.
Yes.
So they sign up to this union, and that union will negotiate, on behalf of them.
Yeah.
And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Yes.
The registrar is fucking around,
Yes.
if we're being honest here, right?
Yeah.
So, and again, they won the ruling.
Yes.
The registrar, fuck the registrar is what I'm saying.
The court was like, "Hey, these people need this thing," and the registrar was like, "Nah, nah."
Well, it's not organized in the way that I like, so get out, get the fuck out. I'm not gonna accept this court order document. I'm just gonna.
You've been legally ordered to do this thing. Just do the thing, please.
I'm just moving off on vibes. All right, so our next story. A few weeks ago, Jacob Zuma, our former extremely corrupt president, was granted medical parole to go to Russia and receive treatment, for an undisclosed medical concern.
Yes.
Last week, the Constitutional Court ruled that the medical parole was unlawful.
Yes.
So when Zuma was initially arrested in 2021, the country erupted into riots and we experienced our worst violence since apartheid. Right?
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
The worry is that this ruling will also cause unrest.
Yes.
Nothing has happened as of yet. But I don't think it will be a repeat of the 2021 situation.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because it's not 2021.
Well, firstly, because I don't think these riots were as closely linked to Zuma's arrest as the media would make it out to be.
Okay.
Right? In 2021, we were obviously still in the height of the pandemic.
Yeah.
And the government announced that they were stopping the free food programs that had been set up for the poor.
Oh.
So literally that week,
Yeah.
Zuma was arrested. Also in that week, the food programs were
stopped. Yeah.
Right? Now, there's all these, not rumors, this is a fact,
Okay.
that like a bunch of current ANC members,
Yeah.
as well as former ANC members that worked under the Zuma administration,
Yeah.
instigated these riots.
Yes.
So they went around and like told poor people like, Zuma's arrested, go riot. Which I'm not denying that. I'm
Okay.
saying these poor people were more amenable to this message because the food program had stopped.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think they brought back a food program.
Not
But-
that I know of.
In the time since then, they would have made do in that time,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So they would have found other ways to get food.
Yeah.
So if a person came and said, Zuma's getting arrested, let's riot, they wouldn't be as incensed as they were when the food programs were taken away.
Yeah.
That's one thing.
Right.
The second thing is, after the unrest,
Yeah.
there were, first of all, lots of people died. A lot
Yeah.
of the rioters,
Yes.
but also just random people.
Yeah.
Lots of people arrested.
Yeah.
Lots of buildings were burned down.
Yes.
And I think people just saw the destruction,
Yeah.
the cost of all this.
Yeah.
I'm not saying cost as in money, as in like, maybe like I go to the park
Yeah.
and the park burnt, or a tree burnt down because of the erupting violence.
Yeah.
Like, you can see the cost of what those riots did.
Yes.
So I don't think people or society, our society,
Yeah.
is amenable to that message again.
Yeah.
So, again, that's just my opinion. Things could get buck wild tomorrow. But yeah, Zuma, in this whole time since 2021, he didn't go to jail.
Yeah.
He was under house arrest. I can't remember what his place is called.
Nkandla.
In Kandla.
Yeah.
I was going to call it Marikana, but that's
completely different.
That's
thing.
a mine. That's where, But whatever. His house, he was under house arrest there.
Yes.
So he's never been to jail.
Yes.
Potentially breaking this, what did I call it? The medical parole?
Yeah, medical parole. Yeah.
He's not breaking medical parole.
Well, no. He's getting a medical parole.
He got an unlawful medical parole. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
Getting an unlawful medical parole, I don't know if that's if that's worthy of being sent to jail.
I don't know.
Because I've just seen people call for his arrest.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's against the law. Well, I guess because they ruled it unlawful, it's against the law.
If it's called unlawful, it's probably against the law.
My point is, I don't know if he's going to jail.
Yeah.
Or if he's just going to go back, or if things revert back to how they were, he just goes back into house arrest. That's what I'm saying. I don't know how it's going to move forward from here.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to get at.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
The next thing is there was an explosion in JHB CBD.
Yes.
Which...
Joburg CBD. Yes.
All right. Which it's still unclear what the cause of this was.
Yeah.
What... yeah. I think that's the only thing, right?
So, as far as current reports are speculating, I guess, it was a... Well, they've said a few options. I can't remember all of the options, but I do remember them saying that there was like a sewage pipe, pretty much. And then, you know how like human waste creates methane gas. And so the methane gas is explosive. Like they use it as rocket fuel.
I see.
So it somehow ignited and then that blew the whole pipe.
All right.
Yeah.
So what I'm hearing is somebody took a shit so thick it blew up the Joburg CBD. I really hope it wasn't me. I just, I had some ice cream that day. My lactose intolerance was acting up. I hit a hectic fart into the toilet and then suddenly bang. But yeah, like I said, they're still investigating, so there's really no information to put forward. Yes. But last night, in our next story, there was an earthquake or I don't know if they classified it as an earthquake, but there was a tremor.
Oh.
Last night.
Huh.
And they're trying to figure out if that tremor from last night was linked in any way to the explosion on, was it Wednesday? Or was it Tuesday? I can't remember. It was just a few days ago.
Yeah.
Right, so last night was Saturday.
Yeah.
Right, so sometime during the week there was an explosion, and then on Saturday there was a tremor. I would also like to draw a line from these two stories to, I think it was last week or the week before. We spoke about there was an explosion in Kempton Park.
Yes.
Because there was an illegal mine there.
Yeah.
And something happened underground that caused an explosion.
Yes.
So I'm wondering if there's similarly like something
up here.
Yeah, where like somebody was doing mining and like they hit something underground and then bang, there was an explosion.
Could be.
Right.
Yeah.
So I really don't know.
Yeah.
It's I was going to call it geology. Is it geology?
Yes.
Geology is not my strong point.
Same.
As evidenced by the fact that I didn't know if it was called geology. It was either geology or geometry, and I was just
definitely not geometry.
I was rolling the dice on which one. So the last story of the week.
Yes.
Twitter blew.
Okay.
So last week, a bunch of people started posting screenshots of they've received money for,
Oh yeah.
being a creator on Twitter.
Yes.
In the same way, like, if you're a YouTuber, you receive a small amount.
Yeah.
And I think it's bullshit.
It does seem that way.
Why would you say that?
Because it's just like massive sums of money, which don't seem reasonable to me. Like a lot of people are getting like thousands of dollars.
That's not unreasonable.
Yeah, I know it. In theory, it doesn't sound unreasonable. It just feels a little off to me, and I don't know why exactly.
All right, let me tell you.
Okay.
Well, not everybody has this.
Hmm.
It just seems like a bunch of people handpicked by Elon got money, right? Because like you have to be signed up for Twitter Blue.
Yes.
First of all, but then you have to do a second step
Okay.
where you like sign up for something called Stipe,
Okay.
which is Twitter's like I guess PayPal kind of
Okay.
thing where they actually do the payouts.
Yeah.
And the second thing is you have to be signed up for something. Like you have to just like click yes on a form or whatever, right?
All right. Okay. Yeah.
And a bunch of people, since these people started posting these screenshots,
Yeah.
people have been trying to sign up as well.
Mm-hmm.
And one person emailed Twitter and they got a reply saying, this option isn't available to everybody or something like that. Which right. And people who already, signed up with Twitter Blue couldn't access this feature.
Okay.
And it just seems, from the outside looking in, that Elon paid like a bunch of people, influencers,
Yeah.
to make it seem as if though,
They were getting a bunch of money from Twitter.
well, they are
Well,
technically
Twitter
getting,
revenue.
yeah,
Not like Twitter.
just money,
Yeah.
right? It seems like these are people he views as influential.
Okay.
They may not necessarily be influencers.
Yeah.
Like the word influencer is so, I don't know, bizarre to me. Like,
Okay.
is a journalist an influencer?
Technically, yes.
Yeah, because they change the public's perception. They're reporting on a certain topic.
Yeah.
Influences people's opinions. So I guess by definition, but I wouldn't call a journalist an influencer. You get what I'm saying?
According to like the pop culture definition of an influencer.
Yeah, to me, an influencer is like somebody who, like, I don't know, does like a stupid TikTok dance.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
like they're like advertising for like, I don't know.
Whatever influencers advertise for.
Yeah, they're like on Instagram all the time.
Yeah.
That's what I view an influencer as.
They like fly to the Maldives every weekend and get nice pictures.
Yeah, that's what I think of. But like, yeah, he just gave it to like right wing quote unquote journalists.
Yeah.
Do you know who? What's his name?
Jordan B. Peterson.
No, yeah, he's a right winger, but
Yeah.
he's not the guy I'm talking about.
Damn.
He lives in like the Philippines or something, bro.
Huh?
You don't know, the listeners don't know, but like this is just some obscure person on Twitter, right? That I'm trying to remember. I think his name is Ian Miles Chong.
Okay.
He just tweets the most insane, just deranged right wing opinions, right?
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of like these right wing grifters who they claim to be centrists.
Right.
So Jordan Peterson, he'll say he's a centrist.
Yeah.
Or on the one hand, I think partly it's to make it seem as if though he's reasonable. He's in the center.
Yeah.
It's other people on the fringes who are lunatics, right?
Yeah. Right.
And on the other hand, I also believe that these people are so uneducated. They believe that this is the center.
Yeah.
When they like their politics and every word in action is just like extremely far right stuff, right? So it's a combination of them both being dumb and trying to make themselves seem more reasonable than
They actually are.
Yeah. But anyway, we got wildly off topic here,
Little bit,
right?
yeah.
And I blame you.
Okay.
Look, random people on Twitter,
Yes.
influencers,
Yes.
although not the definition I would use,
Yes.
received a payment,
Yes.
which was allegedly Twitter revenue from
Like previous.
the people.
things.
So Elon Musk tweeted that if somebody comes to your profile and sees the ads,
Impressions.
based on the number of impressions, you will get a percentage.
Yes.
That's what the idea is here.
Yes.
Happening here.
Right.
Further investigation has found that to be not true.
Yes.
That's the story. Right. Further investigation has found that only a handful of people were paid an amount.
Yeah.
And I would suggest, obviously don't know if this is the case or not. It's
Yeah.
because Threads, started recently.
Yeah.
So he's trying to just Hail Mary pass.
Yeah.
Or, just try whatever he can to get, Twitter in the conversation more, to make it more appealing.
Yeah.
to be on Twitter as opposed to a Threads or
Whatever else
whatever.
there is.
But I think this is just a bizarre misunderstanding of Twitter. Because
Okay.
it's like, you do realize it's possible to have both a Threads account and a Twitter account.
No, I didn't know that was a thing. Wow. Why didn't anyone tell me?
It's not like YouTube, where YouTube doesn't necessarily have another competitor, another company that shows videos.
Yeah.
It's maybe like Twitch, which does something different.
Yeah.
And what's that? What's the thing? Vimeo.
Yeah.
Do you remember Vimeo?
Yes.
Yes, Vimeo still exists. They,
They're just around.
Yeah, but my point being, YouTube does that because everybody is on YouTube.
Yeah.
With Twitter, there's other websites that you can go to.
Yes.
So it doesn't have the same, I'm not going to stay on Twitter in lieu of going to other websites. I'll just check out the other websites.
Yeah.
I do a 15-minute, I'll check Twitter, I'll check Reddit, I'll check Instagram.
Yeah.
I don't sit there going through
Yeah.
one site all day.
Yes.
Right? That's why I think this, this tactic to be let's pay influencers to make it seem as if though Twitter's the place to be. That won't work, because there are alternatives that we actively use.
Yeah.
But whatever. Do you have any news?
Elon Musk last night announced that, I believe it was last night. Or last night for us.
He's
Anyway.
becoming the X.
Yeah.
He's been talking about this for months.
Oh.
We've never mentioned it here on the podcast, but in his tweets he says either Twitter or /company X. Or he calls it the X app. He's been talking about he doesn't want it to just be Twitter as it is now.
Yeah.
How Facebook is.
Yes.
It's like an everything app.
Yeah.
You can buy and sell things. You can whatever. So in the past, Elon Musk has referred to Twitter becoming X, the everything app.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And this is the first step, I think, in going in that direction.
Yeah.
Just changing the logo, which.
Yeah.
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 Anything else? Sorry. Do you want to finish it off this?
Yeah. So I believe he tweeted that he's gonna slowly phase out all the Twitter stuff as it is currently. Like the bird logo is gonna become an X as well, and he'll probably change the name. But yeah,
X,
yeah.
the everything app.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's about it.
Is that all the news?
Yeah.
Something that happened yesterday was. Bless you.
Thank you. Well,
there's only news here. Were you born yesterday?
Yes, I was actually.
You were reading the newspaper last night for the first time. You're like, all right, I've got a news story. Well, you read one page of the newspaper. This newspaper apparently is just posting, printing out Elon Musk tweets. But all right. Yeah. Anything else?
No.
All right. So the context for this movie.
Context.
All right. First of all, let's get the elephant in the room out of the way.
Okay.
Tom Cruise is a Scientologist.
Yes.
He's the most famous Scientologist, to the point that some would call him the face of Scientology.
I see.
And Scientology is a horrific cult. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So why are we not boycotting this movie?
Dunno.
Every time I'm like, why aren't we boycotting this? You're like, I don't know.
I don't know.
Do you have any, I don't know.
No, I'm pretty much just like a blank canvas.
All right.
And
so once again, if I went here, you would have covered the Flash. You would have. you would have been
Excuse
like,
me.
oh yeah, Ezra Miller's committing crimes. And we love it on this podcast. if not for me. Once again, I'm the moral center of this podcast. things would fall apart without me. Morally, I'm talking about. I'm not saying... the content would probably be better, but morally, you'd fall off without me. That's what I'm saying. Right? But listen, he is a cult member.
Yes.
Not the leader. Right?
I see.
He is a victim of the cult.
Yes.
Right? So he's the face of the cult because the cult are taking advantage of him and his fame.
Yeah.
That's the it's not like he put his hand up and said, I want to be the face of the cult. They recognized how famous he is.
Yeah.
And, you know, he is being put forward as the face of the cult because he's famous, not because he wanted to.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Certain people will say, well, he's an adult, he should realize that he's part of a cult and this is not normal behavior.
Well, yeah, that makes sense.
Right. First of all, I'd like to point out that there's a literal cult working around the clock to make sure that he doesn't find out the truth, right?
Okay.
You and I, we can just, go on Google and be like, what is Scientology bad? Question mark. and the first result will be the word yes in all capitals across the screen. Right? But like, he doesn't have. Well, I assume he doesn't have. He has people around him from Scientology that are stopping him from
Googling is Scientology
if
bad?
like there's somebody, if somebody says something bad about Scientology to him,
yeah,
they will like.
Smooth it out.
Yeah, be like, oh, that person is lying, that person is... There's been reports that David Miscavige, who's the current leader of the Church of Scientology, will like, what's the word when you like badmouth somebody in the press? But you don't actually say something bad, you like leak stuff about them.
Oh.
So if somebody like says something bad about Scientology, he will leak like bad rumors about you.
Oh.
Stuff like that, right?
Okay, yeah.
So there's a literal cult working around the clock to make sure he doesn't, get to the truth. That's the first thing.
Okay.
The second thing is he's been famous since 1981 when he was 18 years old.
It's a long time ago.
He has no frame of reference for what normal looks like.
Yeah.
Right? There's a reason I call it Hollyweird.
True.
Weird stuff happens there.
Oh, really? Is that why you call it Hollyweird?
Right. So
Right.
that's why I'm saying he has no frame of reference like, oh, I shouldn't be at a cult meeting every Saturday. Or, like, I don't know, whatever.
Whenever it is. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Thirdly, I just think he's somewhat naive and dumb.
Fair enough.
And he doesn't realize that he's being taken advantage of.
Yeah.
So I'd liken it to Joe Rogan.
Okay.
So Joe Rogan has a lot of right-wing ghouls on his show.
Yeah.
Right? And they spread propaganda.
Yeah.
But he's kind of too dumb to fact-check them. Right?
Yeah.
He has young Jamie who Googles stuff.
Yeah.
But it's not a comprehensive fact-check. Right? And a lot of the bullshit that gets said on his show goes unchallenged.
Yeah.
Because basically, like, like a right-wing guy will say something.
Yeah.
Jamie will Google it.
Yes.
And, like, he'll just click the first link.
Yeah.
And there'll be an article saying, whatever that right-wing guy said, it's correct.
Yeah.
That literal text. Right? And he doesn't, like, verify that that website is, on the up and up.
Yeah.
He doesn't, like, he just clicks whatever the first few links are, and if it kind of agrees with what the person is saying, it'll, he'll go along with it.
Yeah.
But certain points need more than one or two article clicks. It needs, like, deeper reading.
Yeah.
To understand why, the point this person is saying may seem true,
Yeah.
but it actually isn't true. It's not true.
The opposite of true. Not true.
Right.
Right.
However, in both cases, I believe both Tom Cruise and Joe Rogan are operating in good faith.
Yeah.
Remember what we were talking about
Yes.
before, right?
Yeah.
They are just unequipped to deal with the forces making use of them.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. I've Googled to try and find any other controversies, like if Tom Cruise assaulted somebody or he's been arrested for something, etc. But I couldn't find anything.
Okay.
So if there's something I'm missing, please let me know.
Okay.
I'm not speaking to you, I'm speaking to the audience. The audience, if there's something that, like, you believe that I'm being too lenient or I'm not being critical enough of Tom Cruise, and we should boycott this movie. Well, obviously
It's a little late now.
we're in the process of recording.
Yeah.
But I'm saying in future, I'll know, like, all right, Tom Cruise is a bad person. We shouldn't.
Like maybe Dead Reckoning Part 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Cool.
Right?
Yeah.
But for me, that's a reasonable reason not to boycott.
Yeah.
I don't know about the listeners, because I know you you agree. Even if he was the leader of Scientology, you'd be like, yes, Tom Cruise. But yes, I'm only speaking to the listeners. Right? So there's a theory that this film and the two films we cover next represent 3 different eras of Hollywood.
Okay.
Or as I call it, Hollyweird. Right? Dead Reckoning is 1930s and 40s Hollywood.
Okay.
When it was about the stars, aka old Hollywood.
I see. Yes.
Right? You'd occasionally have a celebrity director like an Alfred Hitchcock. But in that era, your primary consideration for what movie to watch would be the actors in the picture.
Yeah.
Like a Vivian Lee. Or a...
Someone else.
Fuck, what's that guy's name, man?
I don't know.
Who's the guy?
Oh, yeah, that guy.
Jesus Christ. You know what? Just vamp a bit while I Google.
I mean, yeah, probably a someone. Like a Clint Eastwood.
No. He's too young.
Well, I mean, Clint Eastwood is like 90.
He is like 94.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm talking about people who were working in the 1930s.
He was born.
Clark Gable. That's what I was thinking of.
Right.
They were both in Gone with the Wind.
Oh, okay.
Vivian Lee and Clark Gable. That's all. Who was the lead of Gone with the Wind? Yes, Clark Gable. A Vivian Lee or a Clark Gable, right? With all due respect to Margot Robbie and Cillian Murphy, I don't believe people are going to watch those movies specifically for them.
Okay. Yeah, fair.
I'm not saying they didn't play a part in people's decision to watch those movies.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I don't believe there's a person who woke up, looked at the, didn't hear anything, just opened up the paper for movies, movie showing at their local theater, read Oppenheimer. Okay, I don't really want to watch that.
Yeah.
Starring Cillian Murphy.
Oh, damn. Okay, yeah.
Again, that's just my bias or my opinion.
Yeah.
I have no idea, right?
Yeah.
Then you have the 1970s when it was about the director.
Right.
And again, don't get me wrong, people still went to see movies based on what stars were in the movie, but the movies themselves were auteur-driven cinema.
Yeah.
Like the studio would greenlight a movie based on the reputation and pitch of a director.
Yeah.
Right? Actors sign on to star in a movie because they want to work with a particular director.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
I don't think the average person could name the director of Dead Reckoning or Barbie.
No.
But I do believe a higher percentage of them could name the director of Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
Can you name the director of Dead Reckoning?
No.
Don't Google. Can you name the director of Barbie?
Greta Gerwig? I think.
And the director of Oppenheimer?
Christopher Nolan.
Alright. Well, that's pretty much how I expect it to go. Nobody would know the Dead Reckoning. They may know the Barbie director. Yeah. They definitely know the Oppenheimer director.
Yeah.
Again, that's just my bias. I don't know if... I know it worked out with you. And we didn't plan this, to be clear. But, that's just how I feel society.
Yeah.
Actually, cancel that. I feel the average person wouldn't be able to name all the directors. But I'm saying the least they wouldn't, if we had to put in percentages, the least amount of people would be able to name Christopher McQuarrie, who's the director of this movie.
I should have known that.
Yeah, I said Christopher McQuarrie and this look of puzzlement just came across your face like, who the fuck? What? I've never heard of that name before. Yes. Christopher McQuarrie, Greta Gerwig, you were right.
Yeah.
Right. And so anyway, thirdly, we come to the 2010s.
Yes.
People will say it started way before that, but let's just say things solidified in the 2010s.
Okay.
And this is the era of IP.
Yeah.
Or intellectual property.
Okay.
not internet port. You know, like there was a while back, like I don't know who I was talking with, but somebody said, "What does IP stand for?"
Yeah.
And like three of us had three different answers. Like, my friend was an accountant. He said something about accounting. I said internet port. Somebody said intellectual property. So it's good to clarify.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really matter who directed or starred in Barbie. The
Yeah.
audience is interested in the Barbie intellectual property.
Yeah, that's
Again,
pretty
I would suggest, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't. I'm saying this in general. Well, I'm saying this as if though it's fact, but I know a person who didn't. I know a person who didn't go to Barbie because of Margot Robbie or the property of Barbie. They went because they like Greta Gerwig as a director.
Okay.
And that person was me. As I'm saying this, I'm realized like I do know that person. I am him.
Of course I know him. He's me.
But yeah. So I would just say in general,
Yeah.
people are going to watch Barbie because of the intellectual property Barbie, not
Yeah.
because of other factors, right?
Yeah.
You couldn't say the same for Mission Impossible or Oppenheimer. Obviously, Oppenheimer is a standalone.
Yeah.
For now, until we get the Oppenheimer cinematic universe. Right, but for now, it's not a franchise. And while I recognize Mission Impossible is a franchise, I would suggest that it's nothing without Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
I don't believe that if we just get a random up-and-comer,
Yeah.
name a random up-and-comer.
Cillian Murphy.
He's like 50. He's not an up-and-comer. What the hell?
John Boyega.
John Boyega. If we had John Boyega as the star of Mission Impossible, I don't think it would do as well as Tom Cruise led Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
Call me crazy.
I think it's very similar to, how, I think it was last week, we were talking about how Indiana Jones dies with Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
It's a very similar thing where
Yes.
Mission Impossible would not be... It probably wouldn't continue without Tom Cruise.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
I don't know about that. I think there's a time where Tom Cruise will call it quits,
Mhm.
and Mission Impossible will carry on.
Okay.
They'll just find not new star, just a new avenue of approaching that IP.
I see. Okay.
I think. I don't know.
I think it would be the opposite. But yeah.
So anyway, these three movies represent three different viewpoints.
Yeah.
Or like three different viewpoints on how movies should be made.
Yeah.
Some people believe it should be star driven. The actors, people are going to see the actors, so the actor should be the primary, artist of the movie.
Yeah.
Some people believe the director should be the primary. Some people believe that,
The IP should be.
I don't care who the director or the actors are. I want to see a movie about Barbie.
Yeah.
That's the what's being
The progression.
what's being put forward to us over these few weeks.
Yeah.
Now I've already seen all three movies,
Yes.
and I have my feeling of in terms of quality,
Okay.
which one is the best, and how that plays out.
Yeah.
I will. Well, you'll be able to figure out, but at the end of the Oppenheimer episode, I'll put it out into full words.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
But what I'm more interested in is box office.
Yeah.
Which movie would make the most money?
Yeah.
And it's probably going to be Barbie.
Yeah,
Because-
realistically.
It's a kid's movie, obviously. But and like I said in like the first episode,
Yeah.
that like kids don't go watch movies alone.
Yeah.
If you're making a kids movie, you're going to get the kids ticket and the adults ticket that took them
Yeah.
to watch that movie.
Yeah.
So, kids movies are far more profitable than
Adults movie.
adult movies.
Yeah.
Right? So I think it will be Barbie, but I'm wondering if the power of Tom Cruise's stardom can somehow defeat Barbie, or like just the power of Christopher Nolan's filmmaking skills can defeat Barbie.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think it's very interesting. That's
Yeah.
all.
Okay.
Sorry for being interested in something. Oh, maybe I should just be casual and blasé like you, Truls.
Okay.
Don't clean up a single thing. All right. Anyway, so I call Tom Cruise Mr. Movies. Why is that?
Because he only stars in movies?
Well, there's plenty of people who don't only star in movies.
Yeah, but I can't think of any other reason.
I'm trying to think, has he ever been in a TV show?
Not that I know of.
Yeah. Like, he's big enough of a star that I could immediately recall if he was in a TV show.
Yeah.
I feel. I don't know. Maybe he was in a TV show in the 80s. And
He might have had cameos here and there.
But anyway, so the first reason I say this is because he's a purist, right?
Okay.
He does his own stunts.
Yeah.
He said he feels he's not authentically acting as a character if he's not also doing the stunts.
Yeah.
I didn't initially understand this. I always just wondered if it was sexual.
What?
He's just doing like a weird death-defying stunt.
Yeah.
And he can see, the people directing him.
Yeah.
Their faces like, oh my god, is he going to die? And he must be imagining the people at home thinking, because we know he's doing his stunts.
Yeah.
Is he thinking of us, wondering if he's going to die? Yeah. And then going home and getting off on that. Like, they think I'm going to die. I'm Tom Cruise, I'll never die. Right? But now I realize that's just, he's a purist. He's just in it for the art of movies.
Yeah.
So, sorry for putting that weird sexual reading on this. Sorry, Tom Cruise. Right. The next thing is not the next thing. As in the next point.
Yeah.
Continuing this point, but the next part of this point is as continuing the idea of him being a purist, he did not allow Top Gun to go to streaming.
Yes.
So do you remember day and date release?
Yes.
So during the pandemic, movie executives were, instead of putting movies out to the theaters, they were immediately putting movies into streaming.
Yeah.
Which, first of all, provides a high quality digital file for pirates. Like people want to pirate the movie.
Yeah.
That's the first thing. Yeah. Second of all, it diminishes the theater experience.
Yeah.
There are lots of filmmakers who make a movie designed specifically for the theater environment.
Yeah.
Because they love movies.
Yes.
It's an added bonus that we're allowed to, watch those movies on a laptop or whatever later.
Yeah.
But they are primarily made for the theatrical experience.
Yeah.
And he was so committed to that, he delayed Top Gun until, it was safe to go back to movies.
Yeah.
And a lot of people credit Top Gun with, getting people back to movies again.
Yeah.
Because that was the first... I think it was the first $1 billion movie...
After the
pandemic. Oh, no, but that rubbish Spider-Man movie... That came out in December 21.
Yeah.
Top Gun came out middle of 2022.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying it doesn't really work out that time.
Yeah.
But it's not a superhero movie. It's not like a massive franchise. I can understand it's a sequel, but it's not like...
It's
not like Spider-Man.
Yeah.
It's not the level of franchising as Spider-Man, right? It's... I want to say semi-original.
Yeah.
Because...
Basically.
Yeah.
It's almost entirely new. It's just borrowing from the previous Top Gun.
Yeah. But you get my point here.
Yeah, I get you.
A lot of people credit Tom Cruise with, getting people back into cinemas.
Yeah.
Now, I would argue that a short few months later, Avatar 2 came out. And you would have done that anyway. But,
Yeah.
I'm happy to give Tom Cruise some credit.
Yeah.
Because, I did not expect that movie to do $1 billion. I was shocked, right?
I just saw all the hype around it. And I was like, it must, surely.
Well, but you live in a different world.
That is true.
You live in plane world.
Yeah.
So all your plane friends were like, oh my god, it's a movie about planes. We love planes. Yeah.
Yes.
So that's why I'm like, I don't know what your media ecosystem is like. I don't
No, my Twitter timeline was fully Top Gun propaganda.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Yes. But yeah. Where are we? Right.
Way off topic.
Secondly, I believe he's the most famous movie star of all time.
Yeah.
I have no numbers to back this up. I'm simply basing this on my feeling.
I think he's the most widely recognized. Like, if you showed someone a picture of Tom Cruise, they'd be like, "Oh, that's Tom Cruise."
What's a shorter way of saying widely recognized?
Popular.
Famous.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, I believe that he's the most famous movie star of all time. But yeah, he's like, there are people who are acting in the 70s
Yes.
that are still acting today.
Yes.
But none of them have been doing it as a leading man.
Yeah.
He's been in the main role every movie, not every movie, most movies since the 80s.
Yeah.
He's the not longest, but like,
He's the Loch Ness Monster.
so I heard the story secondhand. I
Yeah.
haven't been able to verify it, but apparently, do you know how Top Gun was greenlit?
No.
So, apparently Joseph Kosinski,
Yeah.
the director of Oblivion at the time, but he would go on to direct Top Gun Maverick,
Yeah.
spoke to Tom Cruise.
Okay.
All right. Yes. So my co-host is Googling famous actors, and he showed me Tom Hanks, who, is in the conversation.
Yeah.
I would argue Tom Cruise is a bigger star than Tom Hanks.
Yeah, probably.
But, whatever, we don't need to argue on this. Look, Joseph Kosinski was pitching he went to a meeting with Tom Cruise.
Yes.
He pitched the idea for Top Gun 2.
Yes.
Tom Cruise heard his pitch,
Yes.
didn't say anything, picked up the phoned the head of Paramount Studios, and told him that they're making a Top Gun sequel. Not asked.
He told.
He told him. Ever since I heard that story, I've just been looking at Tom Cruise in a way different light. Like,
Yeah.
who has the juice like that? I'm trying to think on planet Earth, in any industry, who has the juice to phone someone and be like, listen, we're doing it.
James Cameron, maybe?
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
I would argue, it could be argued, Tom Cruise is the actor version of James Cameron.
Yeah.
But, it might be a disservice to Big Jim. I don't think I've liked a Tom Cruise movie as much as, like, even Titanic.
Fair enough.
I'm trying to think Tom Cruise. What's my favorite Tom Cruise? Maybe Jerry Maguire?
I don't know. I don't know what your favorite is.
I don't think I've ever given a Tom Cruise movie a 10.
I gave both the Top Guns a 10.
Yeah, because you're a maniac.
Yes.
I gave the most recent Top Gun an 8,
Okay.
and the 86 one a 9.
Okay.
I can only think of 9s, right?
Yeah.
I gave original recipe Top Gun a 9. I gave The Firm a 9. I gave Eyes Wide Shut 10. There we go. Eyes Wide Shut. But anyway, my point being, he is the biggest star in the history of the world, and many would call him the last star,
Yeah.
because when you're speaking about the different types of movies,
Yeah.
I don't think there's a movie star who could sell a movie just based on their name and make like 300, 400 million.
I'm trying to think of one, and
I've been trying to think of one this whole week, right?
Yeah.
So I thought about Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
He recently made a movie called A Man Called Otto.
Yeah.
Which, not a big name director, not part of a property, they just sold it on his name.
Yeah.
That movie made 112 million,
Okay.
which very decent.
Yeah.
It was like on a 50 million budget,
Okay. Yeah.
but you have to double for marketing.
Even then.
It's 12 million profit, still very tidy.
Yeah.
But it's not what I'm talking about, 300, 400 on their own name.
Yeah.
It's,
It's just kind of alright.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. I don't think anybody really has the star power of Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
So he's the last star.
Yeah.
I would say that. A lot of other people would say that.
Yeah,
Let me
that's
just
fair.
check. Oh, we're 18. You need to get a move on.
Okay. Alright.
Because I realized we're just doing a lot of waffling.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, we
So
are.
anyway, Mission Impossible was a spy TV show that ran for 7 seasons from 1966 to 1973 on CBS.
Okay.
It was then revived on ABC for 2 seasons from 1988 to 1990.
Okay.
So I used to stay with my grandparents during the school holidays, and they didn't have DSTV.
Oh.
So DSTV is our version of what cable would be in America.
Yeah.
Just trying to, I was looking at our our stats.
Yeah.
Most of our listeners are from America now.
Huh.
Like, at the very beginning, it's because like I sent the thing to my friends.
Yeah, me too.
So South Africa was our highest listeners.
Yeah.
America has overtaken that, by quite a margin now. So,
Hello, American listeners.
Sorry, the South African listeners. I'm catering to the Americans now. Fuck.
America is now comfortably most listened.
USA. Anyway,
Okay, yes.
my grandparents didn't have DSTV, right?
Yes.
And I would occasionally watch Mission Impossible reruns around midday on SABC. So SABC is the South Africa's public broadcaster.
They're like the BBC for South Africa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I was too young to fully grasp what was going on.
Yeah.
And the subtext of the Cold War.
Yeah.
The only thing I could tell you about it was I love the theme song. And then when the message delivery mechanism blew up.
Okay.
Like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Right. In 1996, a movie directed by Brian De Palma was made, which acted as a continuation of the TV series,
Okay.
with the addition of Tom Cruise's Ethan Hunt.
Okay.
Now, spoiler alert. Huge spoiler alert.
Okay.
I recommend you pause and go watch the first Mission Impossible.
Oh, so massive spoiler.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then come back to this episode. Well, you can't do this because
Yeah.
I'm talking to the listeners, right?
Right.
Have you seen the first Mission Impossible?
Yes.
All right. Within the first 20 minutes of the movie,
Yeah.
the entire team gets killed.
Oh my goodness, I lied. That's a massive spoiler.
You didn't watch the movie?
No, I didn't, but
Oh.
honestly, it doesn't matter.
All right,
Yeah.
but basically everyone that gets killed was the main cast of the TV show.
Yeah.
So like I said, this movie is the main cast of the TV show and Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Like I said, within 20 minutes, everybody dies. And the rest of the movie is about Tom Cruise, trying to find out who and why they were killed. And who they were killed by and why they were killed.
Okay.
Right? Fans of the TV show were unbelievably angry.
I can't possibly imagine
Yeah.
why.
Yeah, so I watched this movie with our mutual auntie in the early 2000s.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is the thing. I watched the first two with her,
Yeah.
but I don't think if I asked her, she would say she's a Mission Impossible fan.
No.
She would just say, like, oh, it was a movie that was on. Like one random Sunday or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I doubt she would remember this.
No.
But, yeah.
If you're listening, Auntie, write in. Let us know.
Alright, the scene where he's like, well, I'm sure you know about this even if you haven't watched the movie. He's dangling from the ceiling.
Yeah.
Just by popular culture, you know that,
Yes.
right? It's such a powerful image, right?
Yeah.
Of him, dropping down, going to the computer and downloading the knock list.
Yeah.
Right? That's always stuck with me.
Okay.
Brian De Palma in general,
Mhm.
the criticism of Brian De Palma in general is that he's too focused on visuals.
Okay.
And his movies aren't really well thought out.
Okay. Yeah.
And I feel this movie somewhat falls into that trap.
Yeah.
There are pieces where I'm like, if somebody else came and like polished it a bit,
Yeah.
this would have been way better. Well, not way better, just it's these
Better.
small things that don't derail the movie, but it's like it could have been better,
Yeah.
right? So I gave this a 9 out of 10.
Okay.
And I'm gonna be honest, I didn't rewatch the other movies this week. Not because I didn't have time, just my life is a mess.
Welcome to the club.
But yeah, I can just quickly go through it, right?
Okay.
So the second one also watched with my auntie,
Okay.
and I barely remember anything.
Okay.
The only thing I don't know is the opening sequence
Yeah.
where he's climbing a mountain with no harness.
Oh.
He's just climbing the mountain.
Free soloed it.
Yes.
Huh.
And he gets to the top of the mountain. Somebody comes and they shoot like a rocket at him.
Yeah.
And he just stands still. And the rocket doesn't explode. He goes up to it. He picks it up. There's a message in it. Right. So yeah. Again, I remember watching that with my auntie. It's apparently the worst of the series.
Yeah.
I can't speak to that because I haven't seen it recently.
Yeah.
I did hear that it was a remake of Alfred Hitchcock's Notorious.
Yeah.
Which I did rewatch this week. Some people would say, well, Presh, isn't that a waste of time?
Yeah.
Rewatching a movie you've watched within the last year and for like the third time. Or you could have watched Mission Impossible 2, relevant for this episode. To those listeners, I say, yeah, you're right. Yeah, I fucked up. I don't know what you want me to do. Right. The third movie I watched with your father.
Yes. Okay.
Your dad, your brother,
Yeah.
and I went to the movies.
Right.
And we watched the third one.
Okay.
Actually, in the same mall that I watched this on.
Oh, nice.
At Eastgate. But in like 2006,
Yeah.
Eastgate was way different.
Yeah.
Like, the movies were like downstairs.
Yeah.
Now that they've redone it up, it's way at the top floor.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Way different, but the same mall
Yeah.
that it used to be. And I genuinely don't remember anything.
Okay.
I only remember 3 things.
Okay.
The villain was Philip Seymour Hoffman,
Okay.
one of the greatest actors of his generation.
Okay.
2, there's something called the rabbit.
The rabbit. Okay.
That's like the main thing. Like
Right.
in the first movie, it was the knock list. In the second one, it was Chimera,
Okay.
which is like a poison.
Yeah.
The third one is about the rabbit.
Okay.
And at the end of the movie, we never found out what the rabbit was. And that made me so angry. That's all I remember.
That's reasonable. Yeah.
I just remember being pissed off. Like, yo, why didn't they tell us what that movie made no sense. It was so bizarre. Right. The fourth one, I didn't see in cinemas.
Okay.
But it's actually the movie I've watched the most. I watched it like 3 times.
Okay.
All of them just while it was on TV.
Yeah.
It was directed by Brad Bird.
Okay.
Do you know who that is?
A director.
We spoke about him a few weeks ago in my recommendations.
Oh,
He
yeah.
directed The Incredibles,
Yeah.
Ratatouille, The Iron Giant.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So his first ever live action movie was Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol.
Damn.
So that's the one where they're at the Burj Khalifa. There's a big sandstorm. He jumps from window to window.
Yeah.
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 That's my favorite of the franchise.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the highest height.
Okay.
Both physically and entertainment wise, right? Genuinely, like, we're going to be covering that for the Patreon, the commentary this week.
Yeah.
So join us, right? But yeah, I didn't mention for Mission Impossible 3, the director is J.J. Abrams.
Oh.
Piece of shit.
Yeah.
Ruined Star Wars.
Yeah.
Ruined Star Trek. Ruined Lost. Fuck him. But
Just ruined a lot of shit.
well, not Mission Impossible 3.
Okay.
Mission Impossible 3 is looked at as the return to form.
Right.
Like, the first one was good.
Yeah.
Second one was bad. The third one is a return to form.
Yeah.
The fourth one was the best of them at the time.
Yeah.
So 3 is the one that really got everything back on track.
Right.
So I shouldn't be angry with him.
Yeah.
But, something I should mention is that for all these movies,
Yeah.
Tom Cruise picks the director.
Oh.
He's the producer as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so it's him, like, he was a fan of the Mission Impossible TV show.
Yeah.
And he wanted, like, a franchise that, could, like, sustain him while he was doing all, like, the other stuff that he
yeah.
did. Right?
Okay.
So he's the one who picked Brian De Palma.
Right.
He's the one who picked John Woo for the second one. He's the one who picked J.J. Abrams for the third one. He's the one who picked Brad Bird for the fourth.
Yeah.
The fifth one, I can't remember. I think it might have been Macquarie as well.
Okay.
But yes, I barely remember the fifth one. The only thing I remember from the fifth one is, well, I remember 2 things.
Yeah.
One, Alec Baldwin calls him the manifestation of destiny, which, Shea Wiggum says something very similar in this movie.
Yeah.
I have the quote written down, so when we get to that, I'll say it. But yeah,
Yeah.
the something manifestation of destiny.
Yeah.
Anyway, and the second thing I know about Mission Impossible 5 is Alec Baldwin. Somebody has Alec Baldwin's face on.
Yes.
They're a bit off.
Yeah.
And it's a very funny scene. That's all I remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, couldn't tell you anything about Mission Impossible 5. That is Ghost Protocol. and I don't remember enjoying it at all.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Then we have Fallout,
Yes.
which I haven't seen at all.
Oh my goodness.
Which, yeah, people have said that movie
Yeah.
is the best of the franchise.
Okay.
Better than Ghost Protocol,
Okay.
which I don't know. I was planning to watch it this week so I could talk about it, but yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, what I do know is that movie is the other side of Mustache Gate.
Okay.
So what is Mustache Gate?
Something about a mustache. This is Henry Cavill's mustache.
Zack Snyder made Batman vs Superman,
Yes.
which is very poorly received.
Yes.
And he's halfway through making Justice League.
Yeah.
And his daughter committed suicide.
Yes.
So he left the project
Yes.
to grieve.
Yeah.
And Warner Brothers brings in Joss Whedon.
Yes.
So they finish up filming, and then they, go their separate ways.
Yeah.
Henry Cavill moves on to Mission Impossible 6 Fallout.
Yes.
Then they need to do reshoots
Yes.
for Justice League.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Right.
so Henry Cavill has this mustache,
Yes.
and they ask him to shave it for Justice League.
Yes.
But he needs it to shoot on Mission Impossible, and he can't regrow it, within the time.
Needed between shoots.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Warner Brothers offered
Yeah.
to shave it and then CGI a mustache onto him, in Mission Impossible, to pay for the CGI for the mustache in Mission Impossible.
Right.
Paramount
Yeah.
rejected it.
Yes.
they said no ways. So, in the Justice League...
The Justice League.
I don't know why you're saying that.
No. Okay, never mind. Yeah.
The Justice League,
Yes.
right? There's a weird fucked up lip.
Yes.
Where they did the most bizarre CGI
Yeah.
on Earth. And it's honestly not that bad.
Yeah.
If you're not looking at it, you wouldn't understand
Yes.
what was wrong. But if you pause and look at it, it looks like the devil. It's like something deeply evil is happening on his lip. Right? And so again, I never watched Mission Impossible 6.
Yeah.
And I never, saw the other side of Mustache Gate.
Yes. Right.
But Henry Cavill in that movie is the inspiration for why I have a mustache. And co-host, can you please confirm that I have a mustache?
You do in fact have a mustache.
And can you give me your hand?
Okay.
Is it real?
Oh, it's real.
It's a real mustache. It's not a pull-off, a fake mustache that you you stick on your face.
Well, it could be a really well done pull-off mustache.
Well, you just touched it.
That is true.
And?
It feels real,
Hmm.
but maybe it's not.
All right, whatever. Right.
You could be wearing like a full mask of your
All
own
right, enough,
face
enough,
with the
enough.
mustache on it.
So that movie that I haven't seen is the inspiration for my mustache. And
Right.
That's the only thing I can really say about it.
You know what? Fair enough.
And so I'm not really a big fan of the Mission Impossible franchise.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
I've watched them all.
Yeah.
I really like the first and the fourth one.
Okay.
The rest are just so unmemorable.
Yeah.
Right? But what really got me interested in this movie, again, was, we were speaking earlier in the context of Top Gun.
Yes.
Watching Top Gun last year made me interested in Mission Impossible this year.
Okay.
Because Tom Cruise is Mr. Movies.
Yeah.
And, sorry, something I forgot to mention, right? Do you remember earlier in the year?
I remember bits of earlier this year.
In a news segment, we were speaking about Warner Brothers
Yes.
sent a copy of The Flash to Tom Cruise.
Yes.
And I said that's most probably a fake story.
Yes.
And again, think about the logic, right?
Yeah.
They're like, we have this movie that's definitely going to do bad.
Yes.
How can we get people interested? Well, if Mr. Movie says it's good, then
Then it must be good.
Then people will go watch it.
Yeah.
That was their reasoning. Their reasoning.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to say. Tom Cruise's star power, they try to use it to make money for The Flash.
Yeah.
And as much as I love Tom Cruise, I'm glad that didn't work. Right? I'm glad that movie flopped.
Yeah.
But again, that just goes to show the power of Mr. Movies, which is why I went to watch this in IMAX.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to
experience it fully.
Fully get the experience. And so for both this movie and Oppenheimer, I went to the IMAX at Eastgate.
Yeah.
That thing is amazing.
Oh.
It's so the ticket is double the price of a regular ticket.
Yes.
Actually, it's not like so. A ticket used to be 105 rand.
Yes.
Last month it went up to 119.
Yes.
The IMAX theater is 200.
Yes.
So it's not exactly double, but it's roughly double.
Yeah.
Right. That thing is unbelievable. Right?
What, the 200?
Worth it. But
Okay.
I went on a Tuesday to watch.
Oh, so
Half price, yeah. So it's $100, but nevertheless, that doesn't just because I paid less doesn't mean it's less incredible.
it's extra work.
Yeah, that screen is unbelievable.
Okay.
I'll get into it in the Oppenheimer episode.
Yeah.
I just obviously went to just watch Bob in a regular theater because
Yeah.
again every mall
Yeah.
has one IMAX screen,
Yes.
so one movie can be playing in IMAX at a time.
Yeah.
So obviously I didn't go watch Barbie in IMAX because it wasn't available.
Because Oppenheimer was...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the point I'm trying to make is that Eastgate IMAX is mad, bro. I can't believe how good it is. I had such a ball. Fuck. Anyway, so can we get into the movie?
Yeah.
Let me just check the time. Hour and a half of waffling.
Yeah.
Fuck me.
Okay, let's get into it. Come on.
So the movie starts with the same framing device as The Hunt for Red October and Avatar 2,
Yeah.
where we're meant to understand that the people on the sub are speaking Russian, but we hear it as English.
Yeah.
The transfer point from when it goes over from Russian to English is when the two parts of the key are put together.
Yeah.
Which, very nice, I don't know what that's called, timing? Right?
Yes, yeah.
On initial viewing, the scene made no sense. But once you realize that it's the AI fuck you with them, everything is clear.
Yeah.
I really liked the scene in hindsight.
Okay.
The tension is managed really well, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like, I can't remember what they said. It's like 3, 2, and they were bracing for the thing.
Yeah.
Like the building the tension,
Yeah.
letting the tension go,
Yeah.
and then blowing up the sound.
Yeah.
I found that incredible.
Yeah.
Right, that opening sequence, and like they have these undershots.
Yeah.
So we're underneath the submarine, and you can see the submarine, and then you can see the
torpedo. Well, the explosion of the torpedo.
yeah. But I mean, like the vastness of the sea above it.
Oh, yeah.
Before it explodes.
Yeah. Right.
Those shots were very incredible.
Oh, yeah.
Again,
Yeah. They were...
I keep thinking about Avatar.
Yeah.
In Avatar, like it's the crispness of the water.
Yeah.
They don't have that quite as, like it's still a little bit murky.
Yeah.
The shot was still beautiful, but like
It's
not-
still got a little bit of
like
underwateriness.
Yes, it's unclear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been too spoiled with Avatar.
Yeah.
But yes, it's still a good shot.
Yeah.
So that opening sequence I really, really enjoyed.
Yeah.
And again, it didn't really make sense on first viewing. But when I thought about it, I'm like, oh yeah, it's just the AI fuck you.
Yeah. I mean,
I thought like that'd be like Ethan Hunt on another submarine chasing them.
yeah.
Like, because there was another submarine and he was moving too fast.
The
And
Virginia.
That guy said something like, no machine can move that fast.
Yes.
And I thought Ethan Hunt's can. Ethan Hunt's machine can do that. But yeah, clearly it was just a phantom conjured by the AI.
Yeah.
I keep calling it the AI. Like,
The entity.
yeah, that's the thing, right? So I wrote this document,
Yes.
and then I was just glancing over the Wikipedia for the this Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
And I keep seeing it referred to as the entity. And I went to my document and I keep calling it the AI. So just know every time I say the AI, I mean the entity.
Okay.
All
cool.
right.
Yeah. I mean, originally, as the scene played out, I thought, oh, so the Russians have this super advanced thing that's like basically the Red October. But then, the American sub shows up and fires a torpedo at it. And I'm like, oh, obviously the Americans have something more advanced. Let's see where this is going. And then the Russian submarine explodes. And I'm like, huh?
That's the thing. I didn't realize the villain was going to be AI.
Yeah, same.
Like, going into the movie, or... Yeah, because I don't watch trailers, again. Like, when I'm at the theater, I'll see a trailer, but there's lots of things that where people just look up on YouTube. Trailer.
Yeah.
I very rarely watch it unless, like, somebody sends something to me.
Yeah, same.
And they're like, hey, watch this. Or like, I'll see something on Twitter and it'll just start playing and I'll wonder, hey, what's this? Right? I don't seek out trailers.
Yeah.
But I just assume that, like, in the trailers, everyone knew that it's going to be an AI. But I was shocked.
Same.
Yeah. Next, the food delivery guy brings the mission brief to Ethan Hunt.
Yes.
So I didn't like this at all. The pomp and circumstance. If I were the delivery guy, I'd think, ugh, whatever, dude. I don't need to hear your old, just take your package so I can go.
Yeah.
Right? I understand what's happening here.
Yeah.
Is that the delivery guy is a new Impossible Missions agent.
Yeah.
And this is his, like, induction.
Yeah.
But I think this is lame shit. That's all. Like, I'm not saying I don't understand it, that I thought this was a regular delivery guy and was just confused, but no. We find out that Ilsa has one half of the key.
Yeah, that's the general gist of that scene. Yes.
That was it. Yeah, well, you know what I was talking about in the context.
Yeah.
Mission Impossible there's a bunch of hallmarks of the series. Every episode of the TV series and every movie has started off with our protagonist getting a letter that self-destructs.
Yes.
That's one. Two, the theme song.
Yeah.
Right? So that's what I was trying to say, that the way it was done in this movie, I felt was over the top with the pomp and circumstance.
Okay, yeah.
It's taking itself too seriously.
Yeah.
And in other parts of this movie, it's like the writers realize that, we're just having a bit of fun here.
Yeah.
But this scene feels out of place in relation to the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
But then we go to the desert. Ethan. Oh, sorry, another thing about context.
Yes.
So Top Gun Maverick.
Yes.
I understand was a movie about planes and shit.
Yes.
But the metaphor was it's a movie about movie making.
Yes.
Like Tom Cruise says something like, I'm the only one who can do this. Something like that. Because he's the last actor. Right?
Yeah.
If you view Top Gun as a metaphor for getting people back into theaters.
Yeah.
It's quite a brilliant movie about movie making.
Yeah.
Similarly, I view this movie in that way.
Okay.
The AI is the AI that's trying to take over movie making.
Right.
And make every movie formulaic and like
set to a specific kind of idea. Yeah.
Yes. That's what he's fighting in this movie. That's the metaphor I've taken away from this.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So then we go to the desert as Ethan follows the assassins who are after. I think the imagery of the house Ilsa is in is inspired by the Coleman Scott's Ghost Town.
Okay.
Have you heard of this?
No.
So I found out, Tame Impala?
Yeah.
The cover for their album, The Slow Rush.
Yeah.
Okay, let me just Google a picture.
Okay, yes.
Listeners at home, do the same.
Google along with us. This is like a commentary, but on Google.
Yeah, Google commentary.
Yeah. But
So
yes,
you see, it's one of many covers, so you have this.
Yeah.
Alright, so it's a bunch of different images of a house that's been filled with sand.
Yes.
It's covering the door and shit. So there's 6 covers.
Yeah.
So this is the main one.
Yeah.
And it has the pictures from Coleman's Cup next to it.
Right.
I'm looking at it on genius.com.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know this is not very engaging podcasting, but
it's just a house that's full of sand. Yes.
Do you see the imagery?
Yeah.
I believe that's the same idea for the imagery in the house that Ilsa is in.
That makes sense.
It's filling up with sand. I don't know. I'm just that's what I took away from it.
Yeah.
It had a very similar look to the Coleman's Cup and Slow Rush
Right. Okay. Yeah.
album cover.
Yeah.
Right. But aside from the imagery, I really didn't like the scene.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. I found it difficult to tell who was who.
Yeah.
You know, we've been speaking in the past few weeks about action choreography.
Yes.
Like with the Transformers movies, you just see a bunch of metal
Yeah.
just jumping together. You can't tell what's happening. And
Yeah.
where. And I was so glad that the latest Transformers, what is it?
Rise of the Beast.
Rise of the Beast.
Yeah.
You could tell what was going on. It wasn't just a mess of metal moving around.
Yeah.
In this scene, you just see a bunch of people running around shooting in the sand,
Yeah.
which visually doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
It's, I guess you could tell who Ilsa was,
Yeah.
but the rest of them, you
really couldn't. Yeah.
yes,
They
that's
were
not
just
very.
kind
I forget what's the word. Staging,
I guess. Yeah.
choreography, whatever. It's just
Yeah.
I don't think it was a very effective action scene.
Yeah.
The
that's
stakes
fair.
aren't clear.
Yeah.
What if Ilsa shot Tom Cruise? You know, it's like, it's yeah. I just found it very awkward filmmaking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, since he does his own stunts, that would have been movie over.
Well, this is what I was gonna say.
Oh.
Back in the context, do you think he would, if he died on camera, he has it in his contract for them to keep it in in the film?
I mean, it's gruesome, but definitely possible.
I 1,000,000% think that he's planning to die on camera, first of all. But if it happens before, you know, when he plans it to,
Yeah.
he has it in his contract that
They keep it like that and have that in the
they
movie.
have to use that particular take.
Jeez. That's
in
so
the film.
gruesome.
Well, he's a madman.
Yeah, that is true. Yes.
And again, this is just my speculation, but my speculation is so powerful. You believe that it's true,
It's possible. He could.
right?
Yeah.
I also didn't like the death fake out.
Yeah.
Just like
It's just kind of meh.
it adds nothing to the movie.
Yeah.
And spoiler alert, later on in the movie, Ilsa dies. It's
Yeah.
generally you don't have a death fake out and then that character dies.
Yeah.
Generally, you have a death fake out and then that person survives and somebody else dies.
Yes.
Or you know, like to have a death fake out and then that person dies later is so stupid.
Yeah.
Especially since she's not very well used in the time between those two things.
Yeah.
She could have just died in the desert.
Yeah.
If that's what you wanted to.
Yeah. There wasn't much. For her,
If you wanted to
really.
make it make sense.
Yeah.
So kill her off in the desert. No,
Yeah.
sorry, don't kill her off. It's a death fake out, but we don't find out.
Yeah.
Then we don't see her for the rest of the movie.
Yes.
At the beginning of the second Dead Reckoning, she pops up,
Oh.
and we
yeah.
find out that it was a fake out.
Yeah.
That would make far more sense than death fake out and then die like an hour later, maybe.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it adds nothing to the movie.
Yeah.
Right? So either just let her go, or he tells her rendezvous with Ving Rhames, and,
Yeah.
and I'll see you later.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or death fake out, we'll catch up with her later.
Yeah.
Right? But
Right,
yeah, I really felt like this added nothing.
Yeah. Pretty
And
much.
another thing is this movie is way too long.
Yeah.
It was like-
It is. Yeah.
Nearly 3 hours, I think.
I think it was 2:40.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is nearly 3 hours.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yes. Just, yeah. Fuck off with the shit, Ethan. Right. So next we go into a weird scene where a room full of people interchangeably presents the problem to Carrie Ellis, right?
Yeah.
I found this distracting and kind of bizarre.
Yeah.
It really took me out of the movie, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So, in movie,
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense. Why would you have a briefing where people like finish each other's sandwiches? They'd go hungry. But yeah, you get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
in movie, I mean, sorry. It just wouldn't make sense. But if you're doing it as a theatrical thing,
Yeah.
like you know, they were doing it to fuck with somebody, or like they
Yeah.
were doing it as a theatrical presentation or something.
Like a. Yeah.
That would make sense.
Yes.
But it's not. It's just and like that's just in the movie. Out of the movie, I found it distracting. Like I said,
Yeah.
it just I was just like, what the fuck is going on? Why is everyone talking like this? It just feels odd,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And I think they wanted to like kind of subvert the idea. You know, there'll be like a room full of people,
Yeah.
and two people talk.
Yeah.
I think they wanted to subvert that idea where it's like, oh, everyone will talk.
Yeah.
But seeing everybody talk was
It's
very weird. Like they practice this. They've been
Yeah.
every day after work. They go to a warehouse for an hour and they're like, now you, and they don't have like a script in front of them, so they know these words off by heart.
Yes.
That's all. Like
They've practiced this briefing multiple times.
yeah, I found it so. Ooh.
It's one of those things where it's like, it might be better to only have two people speak,
Yes.
because
But the thing is, they needed everyone to be so busy that Ethan Hunt could just walk in
yeah,
and blob a bomb, smoke bomb.
yeah,
Right.
yeah,
We find out the villain of the movie is AI.
yeah,
Right.
yes,
They say a bunch of other stuff about the AI, which is mainly waffle.
Yeah.
Right. And a mysterious man walks into the room,
yes,
and I thought he was a villain.
yeah, me too.
And which is a nice little fake out here.
Yeah,
Right. But yeah.
yeah,
We get the return of Henry Czerny as Eugene Kittredge.
yes,
Have you watched any Mission Impossible movies?
yeah. I watched the fifth one. Dead Reckoning. No, not
That's
Dead
the sixth
Reckoning.
one. Oh,
No, the fifth one. Wait, hold on.
Dead Reckoning is the seventh one.
Yeah.
You think of Fallout?
No, the one before it.
Oh yeah, not Ghost Protocol.
The one on.
Rogue Nation.
Yeah, Rogue Nation. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the one where Alec Baldwin says, what does he say?
Something.
No,
I-
the living
like-
manifestation of destiny.
Yes. Yes.
But anyway, Kittredge was the villain. The villain of the first movie.
Yes.
So he's in the first and the seventh,
Yeah.
and it's the first of many like connections or
Yeah.
like throwbacks to the first movie.
Okay. Yeah.
Having Kittredge back.
Okay.
The man gives Kittredge a mask and blows up a gas bomb to then reveal himself as Ethan Hunt.
Yes.
And this was the biggest laugh of the movie. Because that guy looks so sinister.
Yeah.
You know, like he has that little thing that pinches his nose,
Yeah.
and he has little glasses.
Yeah.
And that gas mask.
Yes.
Looks like a villain.
Yes.
Right. So I think they were playing with our expectations.
Definitely.
And yeah, that. So I like that.
Yeah.
But then we cut back to the desert scene,
Yeah.
which we were just speaking about now, and
Yes.
very stupid.
Yeah.
Cut back to the office, and Ethan Hunt puts on a Kittredge mask.
Yeah.
And makes his escape. They're also a very big laugh.
Yeah.
Cut to the opening credits. And that was, I checked my watch half an hour into the movie. Which, very impressive.
Huh.
Do you know RRR?
Yes. Well, I've heard of it. I haven't watched it.
Alright, well, the opening credits start at like 45 minutes. I love a movie where the opening credits, you're like, you've forgotten. You forgot. It's so long into the movie and you're like, oh yeah, is this just the beginning?
The opening credits open halfway through the movie.
Not halfway, the first half an hour. If the movie is 2 and quarter hours,
Yeah.
2 and 3/4 hours, half an hour is not halfway through.
Okay, yes. A quarter of the way through the movie. Sure.
Alright. So,
Yeah.
then we have Shea Wiggum.
Yes.
Who, by the way, looks like my boss. My boss looks like a mix of Shea Wiggum and who's that guy? He's friends with Nathan Fillion, man. Alan Tudyk.
Oh.
Do you know who that is?
No.
It's so weird. I'm like, hey, do you know the? Okay, once again, listeners, I'm googling. You're gonna know this guy.
Okay.
There's so many things that I say, like, you know this person. I just
Yes.
Yeah, I just don't know where to say he's from. So
Yeah.
Resident Alien,
Yeah.
Tuck and Dale vs. Evil, which I watched. Moana.
Oh, yeah. I
Moana.
recognize him from Moana, yeah.
Alright, but
Yeah.
it's the thing like where he's not famous enough to be known for one particular thing.
Yeah.
So I can't be like, he's from this thing.
Yeah.
You know?
He's not like Tom Cruise, where you're like, he's from Mission Impossible.
Well, you don't know. I could just say Tom Cruise and you know.
Well, yes.
You wouldn't need like Hayden Christensen from Star Wars. That's a better,
Yeah.
because he has other roles, but he's known mainly for Anakin Skywalker,
Yeah.
which you would not know about.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
So Ethan is telling the rest of the team, Ving Rhames and Simon Pegg at this point, what the mission is. Sell the other half of the key and follow the buyer to find out what the key unlocks.
Yeah.
And I just felt like this is monumentally stupid, right? Just get the other key and shoot it into the sun, right? If whatever this thing is can only be used with the key, then get rid of the key and everything is sorted. But I understand that shooting the key into the sun half an hour into the 2-part movie, thereby solving the issue, isn't interesting, right? A small fix that I'd put forward is that perhaps the device is already going off, right?
Yeah.
And the full key is the only thing that can stop it from going off.
Fair enough.
That could be a reason why
they have to.
Yes.
Yeah.
In this case, I would just beat up the other guy, steal his part of the his part of the key again to the sun, and never think about it again.
Yeah.
Right.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So I really enjoyed this wild goose chase the agents are sent on by the facial recognition.
Yeah.
It injected a fun bit of hijinks into this movie.
Yeah.
And Tom Cruise's blue suit is top tier.
True.
that suit was out of control, bro. Every time he turned, I'm like, oh shit, that suit. Ooh, wow. Right. I also really love the dark inverse of this, where the AI is rewriting the facial recognition for its human ally.
Yeah.
I forget. Oh, the human's name is Gabriel.
Yes.
On the fly.
Yeah.
And
it's a very cool idea.
So I'd like to put another metaphor forward for you.
Okay.
So the AI is like God.
Okay.
And Gabriel is the Archangel Gabriel.
That makes sense.
But the problem is I don't know Christianity enough to take this metaphor further, right? I understand that Gabriel is somebody in the Bible, but I don't know what Gabriel did.
I believe Gabriel was the one that told Mary and Joseph that they were having Jesus.
Right.
He appeared to them in dreams.
I'm trying to think who was Mary and Joseph in this movie. Tom Cruise's parents. Yeah, but so what I'm trying to say is there's a religious reading of this movie that I am unequipped to put voice to.
Yeah.
Just notice that I noticed it.
Yeah.
Notice me noticing this thing. Alright? That's all I'm saying, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Another thing I really liked is the AI is just like a trickster.
Yeah.
A prankster.
Yeah.
Just a little stinker, So, in the beginning of the movie, the AI pranked the submarine by blowing it up.
What a crazy prank.
Yes. And again, so there's a lot of stuff that I didn't understand on first watch.
Yeah.
But watching it again made a lot of sense. I thought that scene with Simon Pegg was pointless.
Yeah.
So while they're in the airport, right?
Yes.
He follows that bag.
Yeah, the whole bomb thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the AI was just fuck you with him.
Yeah.
for him to divulge his
deepest, darkest
secrets,
yeah.
Right? And I thought this was monumentally stupid. But when I'm thinking about it again, it's in that moment that the AI stole Simon Pegg's voice.
Yeah.
It used the voice, of him replying to the questions late in the movie when it plugged into
Hunt's thing.
His earpiece.
Yeah.
And right. Yeah. So there was a point to that.
Yeah.
But at the time in the movie, I'm just like, this is dumb.
But also, I took it as the AI knows his deepest, darkest secrets, and that's how it could set up the code for the bomb. It's so powerful that it knows things about him that he hasn't told anyone. It's not really. It's like, are you afraid to die?
Yeah. And he says no, and he's like, that's wrong.
Yeah.
Obviously, right? It's not like something specific to Simon Pegg.
Yeah.
Then it's like, what do you care about most?
Yeah.
And it's like, my friends.
Yeah.
Oh, you're the only person in the world who cares about your friends. Only the AI could have known about that. It's like, it doesn't seem very like they are personal questions,
Yeah.
but it doesn't seem as if though,
Yeah.
do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
But yes, and the fact that there was no bomb
Yeah.
made me feel like at the time when I was watching this, it felt pointless.
Yeah.
And more felt like, okay, Ethan Hunt is on like a run around with Haley Atwell.
Yeah.
Ving Rhames is doing, facial recognition stuff.
Yeah.
So they needed something for Simon Pegg to do.
Yeah.
I just think, don't add Simon Pegg.
Yeah.
Say like he was going to fetch Ilsa or something,
Yeah.
Just say like he was doing something else.
Yeah.
It just felt like he was the odd man out. He was just sitting there. So like, okay, what can we get for Simon Pegg to do?
Yeah.
And like I said, I understand that later on that's where it stole his voice, but it just felt so nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying, yeah.
Like, I like that the AI is a prankster, but watching the movie, it feels hollow when somebody gets pranked and then you realize there was no stakes to this. There was no kind of point to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then they get to Italy and they have a whole chase thing. Like, they go to Venice and they I think they're still chasing the key. Well, the other half of the key, as far as I know.
Yeah.
And yeah, they
I don't think we're done at the airport because we haven't spoken about Haley Atwell.
Oh yeah.
Right, she steals the key off the guy they're following.
Yes.
Right.
She's a master pickpocket.
Yeah. And I just want to say, I wish I learned how to pickpocket.
You can learn.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, there's like a lot of like detective stuff. I love detective movies.
Yeah.
Like opening up a door with a credit card.
Yeah.
Opening a door with a credit card, pickpocketing. There's just a bunch of skills that like, detective know about, and like I feel like I should do that.
So do it.
All right. I'm just saying that scene reminded me of it, right?
Yeah.
She like tricks him.
Yeah.
And he gets, there's a very funny scene where like it's shot from like the bottom.
Yes.
And you see Shea Wiggum speaking to his friend, and you see Tom Cruise running.
They've got to be here somewhere.
You see him running across the top. Yeah. I had a big laugh at that. Yeah. So how does that scene end? So Ving Rhames and Simon Pegg both get on planes and fuck off.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise just jumps off the top of the airport, I assume. We don't see how that...
Yeah.
We just see him at the top of the airport. Cut to Rome.
Venice.
Weren't they in Rome first and then they went to Venice?
The airport was Abu Dhabi, I think.
Yeah, they went from Abu Dhabi to Rome and then to Venice.
Oh, yeah.
Because the chase scene was in Rome.
Yeah. Right.
It reminded me of Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
And I was kind of furious because I wanted to say this in the Fast and Furious episode, right?
Yeah.
I was going to say I was disappointed with Fast and Furious.
Okay.
And I believed that Mission Impossible would be a better version of this movie.
Okay.
And they literally had the scene in Rome where they were on a car chase. Now it looks like,
Yeah.
I'm saying this because of that. But I really had that thought while I was watching Fast and Furious, Fast X, I mean.
Yeah.
That Mission Impossible is just going to be a bigger upgrade on this. Whatever they're doing in Fast X, they're going to upgrade on in Mission Impossible.
Yeah. And then they had a car chase.
Yes, but again, I don't think this was funny.
Okay.
The one, like, they handcuffed each other and they're on the opposite side. I really didn't think that was funny.
I did.
Sure. I'm not saying it's, bad.
Yeah.
Just, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, in the opening scene,
Yeah.
that tension. I wish every action scene had tension to it like that. Like,
Yeah.
things are building.
The gravitas of the
Like-
situation.
Nothing's gonna happen to them in that little car.
Yeah.
Like, there's no... I don't know.
Also love the fake out of the Ferrari, and then it ends up being a Fiat. Where they get to the safe car, and it's like a really fancy car in the foreground, and then the camera like
Pens.
I guess, but it's not really panning. It's like moving, like we'll call it panning, right? And then the camera like pans to behind the really fancy car, and it's this tiny, not so fancy car.
Right. Well, I'm not trying to make a joke, not trying to upset anyone, but I didn't realize. Once again, I know people think like I was making a joke in the Fast and Furious episode, but I really didn't notice. I just thought that was another car that they took. There's plenty of cars to pick from, and they chose one of the many cars. That's I didn't think about the scene at all, bro. Once again, now that you're telling me, I'm like, oh yeah, I guess. Okay, sure. There was a fancy car. They picked a different car. So I guess this is a lot like the Fast X movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, carry on.
No, I just love that bit. That little... It was just a little bit.
But anyway, in Rome, we have Pom Klementov,
Yes.
who's
Mantis.
Mantis. Yes. Mantis comes to... She's like an assassin,
I guess.
working on behalf of Gabriel.
Gabriel.
Well, this is the thing. Is she working for Gabriel or is she working for the entity?
I don't know.
Because why is Gabriel like given special privileges? It should be like if the entity is in charge, then like all humans are like just hench people for the entity, right?
Yeah.
But it seems like Gabriel is the one in charge. Somewhat.
Yes. Yeah.
That's why I'm like,
It seems like he's kind of like...
the lieutenant.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, is there any angels who betrayed God?
Lucifer.
Another one.
That's all
Okay.
I know.
Betrayed God to help humans.
I don't know.
Wasn't there like some apocalypse and then an angel stopped the apocalypse?
I have no idea.
A Christian, by the way.
Well, I wouldn't call myself a Christian.
Why not? Because you hate Christ.
No.
Why?
Because I'm just not that religious. I refer to myself as an agnostic.
So what I'm hearing is you hate Christ. You love the devil.
Okay, you know what? Sure. Why not?
Anyway.
Yeah.
Grace escapes again,
Yes.
which is Haley Atwell.
Yes.
I keep... what's the word?
Referring to people
keep-
as
yeah,
like
but they're
characters
full
and-
named.
Yeah.
And I've done this on every episode.
Yes. Yes, you have.
Movies where I fully know the character's name. Because it's just easier to call them by their real name. So everyone understands what I'm
Yeah.
talking about.
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway. So in Venice,
Yeah.
they go to the party held by the arms dealer.
Yes.
Alanis.
Alana.
Alana.
Yeah. And they have a little...
Alana is Vanessa Kirby, right?
I don't know her.
The
real
blonde
name.
lady.
Yeah. Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And she also doesn't know what the key does, right?
Yeah.
And she wants to steal the key.
I don't think anyone knows what it does.
But
They just...
yeah,
like-
that's on at the end of the movie. Nobody knows.
Yeah.
But
Well, no, they figure it out during the movie. Because there's the whole, like, you go to the wreckage in the box, and that box control has, like, the original code of the entity.
yeah, but what does that mean?
That they can control it in some way.
That's just your assumption.
I'm sure Gabriel says it at some point. He's like,
I understand somebody says the original code for the entity is in that sub.
Yeah.
At the bottom of the ocean.
yes.
How will the original code destroy the entity.
Don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, fair enough.
So, but my point is, we don't know what that key or what that key unlocks will do.
Yeah.
I should say, even at the end of the movie.
Okay.
I think
yeah.
Gabriel says, "I'm the only one who knows."
Yeah.
Before Tom Cruise wants to kill him, and he says, "I'm the only one who knows."
Yeah.
But I keep going back to this. If whatever's in the thing is bad,
Yeah.
send the key into the sun.
Yeah.
But again, I understand for the purpose of interest
Yeah.
that they don't want to let us know. But we should know so that we know that the key is worth finding.
Yeah.
The threat of something that we don't know about, devalues the idea of the key.
Yeah.
Because, like, who cares? If it's locked away,
Yeah.
then who cares, dude?
Yeah.
Right? So anyway, this is when, what's her name, joins up again.
Ilsa.
The whole crew.
Yeah.
Well, Grace gets away and the crew gets together.
Yeah.
And we have the scene where Ilsa says she's never been to Venice, and they hug.
Yeah.
Now, here's another thing.
Okay.
Post 2011, I want to say,
Okay.
Tom Cruise does not have intimate contact with a woman.
Okay.
Full stop.
Okay.
Name your movie where he does.
In
In Top Gun Maverick, it's kind of hinted at,
Yeah.
but nothing happens.
Yeah, it's not
We don't
on
see-
screen. It's just the story.
Yeah, and we don't
yeah.
see them, like, I don't know, like touch each other sexually.
No.
It's just like cut away,
Yeah.
and the implication that they were together or something.
Yeah.
Can you think of any other Tom Cruise movie? The only time I can remember him kissing somebody was in The Mummy, where he kisses somebody to death. He kisses somebody and then they turn into ashes. Not very romantic, if you ask me.
He killed them with kindness.
Or his mummy powers.
That too.
Well, I would suggest that more so than kindness, but all right. Yeah. So yeah, they lose the key.
Yes.
And
Again.
Yeah, at the party, the arms party.
Yeah.
Which is kind of, this last bit of the movie is just very straight down the line, so I think we can just like run through it, right?
Yeah, basically.
At the party, we find out somebody has to die.
Yes.
Either Ilsa or Haley Atwell. And it's the AI making this decision.
Yeah.
Which feels like
It's kind of obvious which decision it would make, I would say.
no, I was gonna say, like, if the AI is the new producer,
Yeah.
the metaphor I was saying.
Yeah.
The AI is the producer, and it's coming in with its bullshit demands.
Yeah.
Its bullshit demand is either Ilsa or Haley Atwell dies.
Yeah.
Whereas we could have both of them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
In
Right.
good filmmaking, well, not in good filmmaking, any filmmaking can have this, but you can have multiple women in a movie.
Yes. Yes, you can.
Every Mission Impossible, there's one woman on the team.
Yeah.
And yeah, in this movie, when there happened to be two potential women for the team, one had to immediately die.
Yeah.
which, not good.
Yeah.
But again, I really dislike the killing of Ilsa.
Ilsa.
Like I said, bad to do a death fake out and then kill somebody.
Yeah.
She, again, I haven't seen Mission Impossible 6,
Yeah.
but what I'm meant to believe is that in 6, his ex-wife comes back into the picture
Okay.
and kind of lets him go.
Yeah.
And says, you can be with Ilsa or something like that.
Okay.
Which is why Ilsa had to die.
Yeah.
You know what I was saying about Tom Cruise can't be affectionate with a woman?
Yes.
So they killed off because it's like...
It becomes...
No, the next step would be to get together.
Yeah.
Because his ex-wife left him.
Yeah.
He's single. Ilsa, I assume, is single. I don't know her life. Right? But they were in Venice together.
Yeah.
The next thing you would assume happens is that they get together.
Yeah.
So they had to kill off to preserve Tom Cruise's non-sexuality on screen. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes, I get. Yeah.
Right. Anyway, then we have this. I kind of love this when
Okay.
they have a planning scene.
Yes, I love planning scenes.
I love a planning scene where things go way wrong. This it didn't really.
No.
It didn't really. Because this is something that happened in the fourth movie.
Okay.
The fourth movie, the mask crater thing
Yeah.
blows up,
Yes.
similarly to this one.
Yeah.
Right. Like I said, there's a lot of like throwbacks to the first and the fourth one.
Yeah.
Like the sandstorm in the beginning. There's a sandstorm in the fourth one.
Yeah.
But that's obviously in the desert in the Burj Khalifa. Well, sorry, not the Burj Khalifa. The Dubai.
Yeah.
The city of Dubai.
Yes.
There's a sandstorm that comes over it.
Yeah.
Similarly in this movie, there's a sandstorm. In the first movie, Ethan Hunt is like a pickpocket.
Yeah.
I'm not a pickpocket, like, street magician
Yes.
who hides like a,
It's
they're
like,
like-
the coin behind the ear.
yeah, look at this card. Oh, where did it go? And like they put it in this.
Oh, it's in your belly button.
Yeah, something like that. Like he does like tricks like that.
Yeah.
In this movie, he did something similar with the lighter.
Yeah.
He would like, do something, and then the light is suddenly in
Yeah.
Haley Atwell's hand.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Like there's a lot of callbacks to even the reintroduction of Kittredge.
Yeah.
So the first and the fourth one, there's a lot of throwbacks.
Yeah.
Now, if I had watched 2, 3, 5, and 6, I could probably pick up on other like throwbacks to those movies. But
Probably.
yeah, it's
Maybe.
yeah. So so how do you think this ends?
Like.
The
Okay.
Dead Reckoning.
Like the whole series.
No.
Well-
the Dead Reckoning portion. Part 1 and 2.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Part 1 and 2. Well, realistically, they get the key, and then they get access to the entity's source code, and
Yeah, I'm saying, will Tom Cruise die? Will what is the end game of this?
well,
Will this be like an Avengers Endgame? Part 1 and 2.
yeah. I mean, so the thing is that Tom Cruise has come out and said he wants to make more Mission Impossible movies, and he wants to be in them as well.
Sure.
So I don't think this is the end of Ethan Hunt, or like Tom Cruise as Ethan Hunt.
He could become like the director. Sorry. I understand my words may be misconstrued.
Yeah.
I'm not saying the director of the movie. I'm saying like the director of the IMF.
I see.
Like he
Yes.
becomes in charge of like the Kittredge role.
Yeah.
Like he becomes a secondary player in the Mission Impossible franchise.
Yeah.
Because he's 61.
He
It's
is.
difficult to do stunts and
All the other stuff.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise does, yes.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. He may not necessarily die,
Yeah.
but he's something prevents him from doing missions.
Yeah. I mean, maybe. Like, it's possible that he could have some sort of, like, injury or whatever at the end of
Yeah,
the
because, look,
second part, yeah.
Death doesn't need to be the end.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that as if though you come back from death. I'm saying the end of your story, you don't need to die at the end of your story.
Yeah.
You can just retire. Or that's what I'm trying to say. There's various ways to end a story instead of killing the character.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to get at here.
Yeah.
Because I'm wondering why they labeled it Dead Reckoning Part 1 and 2.
Okay.
I assume that this is very similar.
Yeah.
I was saying this is similar to Fast X.
Yes.
It's also similar to the Marvel movies, which, if you recall in our Fast X episode, we were speaking about, Fast X is stealing a lot of Avengers Infinity War and Endgame.
Yeah.
Similarly, I feel this movie, first of all, by virtue of being a Part 1, Part 2, is, piggybacking off the success of the Avengers.
Yeah.
And in interviews, Christopher McQuarrie has said that, well, not that specifically, but the success of the Avengers movies is what inspired him to make the Mission Impossibles more like serialized.
Yeah.
Like instead of standalone movies, they like kind of flow into each other.
Yeah.
In the same way the Marvel movies do. So
Yeah.
we know that they're influenced by the Marvel movies. That's why I'm asking, do you think by virtue of this being a part 1 and part 2, they were trying to copy beats from...
Endgame and Infinity War.
Yes. Which is why I'm asking, how do you think this all ends?
I think it ends like it's just basically
A regular movie.
Yeah.
A regular Mission Impossible movie, I should say.
Yeah, it just like instead of, you know, one movie, they just have like a 5-hour long epic, but it's just it ends the same as any other Mission Impossible.
Sure. I don't know. Because I really felt like there was so much waffle in this movie.
That is true. There was. It feels like they're padding it out to make the second part.
Yes. Again, they had one story.
Yeah.
They were like, okay, we know this is our finale.
Yeah.
So we want to make it a grand thing, split it into 2.
Yes.
But when they split it into 2, realized, okay, we don't have enough we don't have enough content for 2 movies. Let's pad them both out.
Yeah.
And we end up with an inferior product. Instead of one 3.5-hour movie,
Yeah.
we get one 2.75-hour movie, and assuming another 2, at least a 2.5-hour.
Probably, yeah.
Right. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's bad.
Yeah.
Both that practice of doing that,
Yeah.
and, well, not this movie. I did think this movie was underwhelming. We're not at the end yet. I don't know why I'm like, you know, kind of wrapping it up, but I just wanted to say that. Like, I had higher hopes.
Yeah.
This movie was like a 7,
Yeah, I gave it a 7.
which still feels too high. It's like,
Okay.
it's not bad.
Yeah.
It's not even mediocre, because you can see there's a lot of ambition, there's a lot of genuine thought put into the stunts and some of the action scenes, but like, it's just not that 10.
Yeah.
You know, like, I was hoping it would be.
Yeah.
Especially since I saw Barbie and Oppenheimer,
Yeah.
and one of those movies is a staunch 10.
Okay.
It blew my socks off.
Okay. Yeah.
And this movie was just
Meh.
fine.
It was there.
Yeah.
It happened.
So, yeah, just anyway, back to the movie, right? So
Yeah.
we see how their potential plan would go.
Yes.
And there's something I can't remember now, right? What was the original plan to get Haley Atwell out of there?
Out of
The train?
out of the train. It was they go in with like wasn't it just the same plan that they did?
No.
Because
The plan was they go in as that lady, the blonde lady,
yeah,
and her henchman.
yeah,
They knock them out.
yeah,
Now, I don't know how they exit. I do remember Tom Cruise standing on the top of the train, releasing a parachute, and then...
flying up.
Yes.
Yeah, yes.
But I'm trying to remember, what was the plan for Haley Atwell?
I'm assuming she'd go with the rest of the team.
What do you mean, go with the rest of the team?
Because if they all go in as Alana and the henchman.
Who's all of them? There's 2 of them. Tom Cruise and Haley Atwell.
Yeah, okay.
Going in as the henchman and the blonde lady.
Right, yeah. Oh, yeah, right.
Right?
Yes, yeah.
But the problem is they don't have the second mask, so
Yeah.
Haley Atwell goes alone.
Yeah.
And Tom Cruise has to get there another way. But what was their
Okay.
original plan for Haley Atwell to exit?
Maybe she just jumps off the train.
I cannot remember what the plan was for her.
There must have been something.
Because
I just also don't remember.
So at the end of this, right, he says, oh shit, I've only got 1 parachute.
Yeah.
Or this parachute will only carry 1 person. Something like that, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck? I distinctly remember
This was part of the plan.
there was a plan to get her off, and I was trying to think back, but yeah, I still can't remember it. But yeah, very dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called the Innsbruck. Oh, it's the Orient Express.
Yeah.
You know,
Orient. Yeah.
that's what I said. The Orient Express.
Yeah.
Like the book.
Yes.
Yeah.
But on the Orient Express. Yeah.
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 But anyway, I also disliked how the jumping off the cliff
Yeah.
came together,
Okay.
because that is something I saw.
Hmm.
How did I see that?
I think it was in a
The
trailer.
trailer, but
Yeah.
I'm
Where
trying
he
to remember.
parachutes off the.
I don't think I watched the trailer.
Hmm.
Maybe I saw like a portion of it, because I do remember seeing him jumping off the thing.
Yeah.
I do recall that.
Yeah.
But the way they did it, I felt was kind of underwhelming. Like, why wouldn't Simon Pegg just say, "Listen, you're gonna get to the top, then parachute off"?
Yeah.
It felt so.
I think it was done as like a gag. To like, you have the reaction where it's like, oh, this isn't where it was meant to be, where I meet up with the train. This is so far above it. I have to now parachute down to get there.
It's cool if you're having fun times with your bros, but this is a mission. It's like, we need specific plans and coordinates here, bro. You can't just tell me keep going, it'll come up, and then like your plan is for to tell somebody your plan is for this person to jump off the mountain, but you don't tell them ahead of time.
Yeah. I don't know.
I really disliked that. The thing is, I enjoyed that stunt.
Yeah.
Of jumping off the thing.
Was that actually done?
Yes.
Oh, like it's practical stunts. It's not CG.
I'm sure it was a practical stunt enhanced by CG.
Yeah. Okay.
Like they, I don't know.
They just had him jump a motorcycle, but like he'd land on an airbag or something instead of,
No, well, he has a parachute. He'll probably just
Oh
land.
yeah, I guess.
Yeah. You think just having a little mattress at the bottom of the jump off?
I mean, a lot of people just like they'll jump off buildings in
Yeah.
certain things and they land on a massive airbag.
Sure. But
Yeah.
that's, much smaller.
Yeah.
Instead of a huge mountain. And moving at speed.
Yeah.
But whatever. The case is, I enjoyed the stunt.
Yeah.
The idea of it and how we got to it. Really, I really did rub me the wrong way.
Yeah.
What else?
What else?
I'm trying to think what else.
I mean, there was the whole. Well, he missed the train, so
Yeah,
Yeah,
so the
we
plan
kinda
goes
smoked.
fucking wrong.
yeah,
Like,
like
again,
really terribly wrong. Yes.
So from the beginning, the mask machine blows up.
Yeah.
And, I said it's a throwback to the fourth one.
Yeah.
But shouldn't you have learned your lesson from the fourth one?
I have it in my notes.
Yes, our mask machine blew up. Let's have a spare mask machine
Yes.
in case it happens again.
Literally, like genuinely, that's what I was thinking. Where it was like, why you as this like really highly trained government agency, why do you not have backup plans for if this thing goes wrong?
Yeah. Anyway, do we really have anything else to say about the movie?
I mean, the train fight scenes were kind of cool.
Sorry, yes. This is my favorite part of the movie. I don't know why I wanted to skip over this. When the train crashes,
Yes,
and they're jumping, on the carriage trying to get
between the carriages, like
Yes.
through the doors. Yeah.
up. Have you ever seen the second Jurassic Park?
I might have, but it would
It's
have
called
been
The Lost World.
Yeah, it would have been a long time ago.
All right, but this scene reminded me a lot about that.
Okay.
It's like what's it called? A trailer?
Yeah.
Oh, not a trailer. Like a moving house. What's
A moving house.
people? There's like a house and they live in it's both a car and a house.
Oh, like an RV.
RV. Yes,
Yeah, yes.
It's an RV falling off the side of a cliff,
Yeah.
and the dinosaurs are pushing it off the side of the cliff.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Yes.
That reminded me a lot of this
Yeah.
scene here. That and Uncharted,
Yeah.
the game.
Yes.
There's a very similar situation there.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is more realistic.
Yeah.
Neither of them are realistic, but this is more so
Yeah.
than the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, just because I've recently seen it on Blank Check,
Yeah.
the General.
Yeah.
There's a big train crashing sequence in the General,
Okay.
which reminded me a lot about. Oh, this movie reminded me a lot about it.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really it.
I mean, the only thing I guess the only problem I have with the train falling and crashing,
Yeah.
I feel like they had one too many carriages. Like, I don't know why I feel like that, but I feel like it got repetitive after the second one, I think, because they had 3, right?
All right.
So I feel like if they just had 2 carriages, it would have been enough.
But like, where are they gonna go?
Like, so
Oh,
instead
okay.
of
Sorry. You're saying just do 2 carriages.
yeah,
All right.
yeah, but that's really about it.
Something we forgot to mention is Pom Klementov.
Yeah.
She betrays the other guy by
Yeah.
saving Tom Cruise.
Yes. Oh, there's also the little fake out there.
What do you mean? Oh,
'Cause-
that she's gonna kill the.
Well, so they're climbing up the carriage, and we see her standing at the top, right?
Yeah.
And then the next shot, I guess, is the carriage disconnecting.
Yeah.
So we think, oh, they must have died, and then we see them all standing at the top there, like the 3.
Oh,
of them.
yes.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
But so this is the thing.
Yeah.
The entity tells Gabriel that Pom Klementov is gonna betray them,
Yes.
so he shoots her.
Yeah.
Which makes sure that she betrays them.
Yes.
I don't like stuff like that when it happens before people are allowed to make a choice.
Yeah.
I assume the idea is that the entity is so powerful that it, calculated that,
Yeah.
Pam Klementov would betray them.
Yeah.
And she says later on, how did he know I was going to betray him?
Huh.
But
Yeah.
if that character shoots her, then it's not really betrayal, is it?
No.
Because she was,
Shot.
she was betrayed first.
Yeah.
So it's not betrayal if you go against the person that shot you.
It's
Is
counter betrayal.
Yes, it's I understand the idea
Yeah.
that we're supposed to take away was that she was going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
She was going to save Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
And that shooting her made no difference to her reasoning.
Yeah.
But you as an audience member are like, what do you mean betrayed? We
Yeah.
saw him shoot her.
Yeah.
Right? That's what I'm just saying. Those ideas weren't conveyed well, I don't think.
Yeah.
So yeah. Also the acting in this movie, there's nothing out of this world.
Yeah.
Everything is just fine. That's why I'm like, at time of writing,
Yeah.
this month has been very mediocre.
Yeah.
Indiana Jones, I don't think was that spectacular.
Yeah.
It's not bad either,
Yeah.
but it's
It's just kind of there.
it's good, not great.
Yeah.
This movie similar, good, not great. It's better than Indiana Jones, but similarly good, not great. I'm even thinking about bumping it down to a 6.
Oh.
Okay. I haven't done it yet. I'm just pondering it, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, your thoughts?
I mean, I would say it's for me, it's a solid 7, where it's just kind of it's good. I would say better than good, but worse than outstanding. So it's just kind of middle of the road there. It's nice. I enjoyed it, but it's not crazy good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had high hopes going in, and it's a shame that
Yeah.
it didn't live up to them.
Yeah.
Hopefully, part 2 will, make things in this movie better in hindsight. That they were setting something up crazy in the next one. That's why things had to happen this way.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Actually, also, sorry. I also feel like they've told too much of the story. Because they could just, they could probably wrap it up in half an hour if they really want to.
Yes, that
Because
again,
they've got the whole key. They just go there, do whatever they need to do.
that's my main concern.
Yeah.
This movie was way too long.
Yeah.
And I understand this movie is not about plot. The Mission Impossible movies are about stunts.
Yeah.
And getting from stunt to stunt.
Yeah.
But I think if the connecting tissue between those stunts are stupid and not interesting,
Yeah.
you're going to struggle.
Yeah.
And I really think that was the case, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, recommendations?
Honestly, I have nothing. I've been so busy recently.
So I finally got around to watching Boots Riley's new TV show.
Yeah.
I'm a Virgo.
Okay.
Do you know who Boots Riley is?
No.
So he's a director. He made Sorry to Bother You.
Okay.
Another surrealist piece of anti-capitalist art.
Okay.
Right. I'm a Virgo, similarly extremely anti-capitalist. But it's a TV show about a superhero.
Okay.
Well, he's not a superhero. He's a person with powers.
Oh, right. Yes. Okay.
So yeah, it's a satire about superheroes, and its criticism is done through a Marxist lens.
Okay.
Right. The show is so up my alley. Right. And it's my front runner for best new TV show.
Oh. Okay.
I gave it a hard 10.
Okay.
It's like 5 or 6 episodes, and they're like half an hour each. It goes very quickly.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
Next in the current Blank Check series is Lady Vengeance.
Okay.
Right? The third movie in the Park Chan-wook's Vengeance trilogy, and it is phenomenal. The first time I watched it, I gave it a 9. I bumped that up to a 10 now.
Damn.
Right? And I
Okay.
think it might be the best movie in the Vengeance trilogy.
Okay.
You know, last week I was saying Old Boy.
Yeah.
So Old Boy is just something unique, like something you've never seen before.
Right. Yeah.
Like, Lady Vengeance is a much more traditional revenge movie,
yeah. Right.
but it's just done extremely well.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, there's stuff in this that you haven't seen in other movies, but
Yeah.
you get my point.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah, okay. Yes, it's good. Okay.
An older blank check series I'm catching up on is Tim Burton.
Okay.
The next movie is Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah.
So I watched this when I was a kid, and I really didn't understand what was going on. But now that I understand, I think it's a really wonderful piece of filmmaking.
Yeah.
It's also possibly the most Tim Burton movie in the series so far. It
Okay.
has all his hallmarks. It's Johnny Depp in a lead role.
Yeah.
German expressionism inspired imagery. It's a movie about a weird outsider not being able to integrate into society.
Okay. Yeah.
Second movie, or the next movie I watched is also another Tim Burton movie. It's the next in his filmography, called Ed Wood.
Okay.
It's a biopic about the director Edward Wood.
Okay.
Edward Wood Jr.
Oh. Oh, jeez. Okay.
Ed Wood.
Yeah.
He, I don't want to say accused.
Yeah.
People say that his movies are some of the worst movies ever made.
Oh, wow. Okay.
He's a very bad director.
Damn.
Right?
That's okay.
But very inspiring personality.
Yeah.
We've been speaking about good faith throughout this episode.
Right. Yeah.
I believe he made his movies in good faith.
Okay.
Like,
yeah.
I'm just going to be making something for what I believe is the best.
Yeah.
And it comes out the worst fucking thing possible.
Oh no.
Yeah, at current time of writing, I believe that is Tim Burton's best movie.
Oh.
It's so
okay.
good, bro. I was thinking about giving it a 10,
Yeah.
but I've kind of landed on a 9.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. Sorry, not landed on a 9. I'm leaning more towards a 9.
Okay.
I still haven't made up my mind 9 or a 10. But,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's truly wonderful.
Okay. I mean, at least it's like between a 9 and a
Yeah.
10. Yeah.
Then the third thing I watched was the next in the Burton filmography.
Okay.
It's called Mars Attacks.
Mars Attacks.
Yeah. It's
Like,
about
okay.
Martians attacking Earth.
Wow.
It's a comedy, right?
Right.
And it is so funny.
Okay.
Well, I don't want to spoil. Well, you can't really spoil it, right? But
Well, Mars Attacks.
yeah.
Spoiled.
But the humans keep on trusting the Martians, right? The Martians come, right?
Yeah.
And like the humans, like they throw a dove.
Okay.
What's the word? Like as a sign of
Peace.
peace
Yeah.
or goodwill.
A peace dove, yeah.
The Martians see the dove and pull out their guns and start shooting. Right. So the humans are like, well, it was probably the dove that freaked them out. Let's get it. They come, and a group of them come to the U.S. Senate.
Yeah.
And we have one main one that comes to the head. It walks to the front,
Yeah.
gets at the the podium.
Yeah.
It looks around.
Yeah.
And gives a sign to the others, and they start shooting. Like a few scenes later,
Huh?
Like the French president goes to a meeting with him and they kill him again, bro. It's the humans keep trusting them, and the Martians just walk in and just massacre him. And it's not like what's the word, like there was a misunderstanding. The humans are just giving them far too much
Trust.
It's so funny. And the effects,
Yeah.
the not CGI, the practical
effects,
the practical effects are so wonderful.
Okay.
It's when they shoot you, your body turns into like a, I can't remember if it's the humans or them, but they have like green and red skeletons.
Oh.
Because like that thing disintegrates you
Yeah.
and you see like just the skeleton. So yeah, really, also very great. Pondering, it's like I gave it an 8.
I mean, it sounds really cool.
Yes. Then a new season 4 of Miracle Workers started last week. Well,
Okay.
2 weeks ago now.
Yeah.
Right. I didn't mention it last week because I hadn't seen the episode yet.
Okay.
It's an anthology series starring Daniel Radcliffe and Steve Buscemi.
Okay.
And the setting of the season is they're in a wasteland.
Huh.
It's like a Mad Max type,
Yeah. Okay.
right? In my opinion, it really isn't that funny. It's
Yeah.
very liberal humor,
Right.
right? But I enjoy the sci-fi aspects of it.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
It's also just very weird that Daniel Radcliffe and Steve Buscemi are in a TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then I watched 3 seasons of a comedy TV show called Corporate.
Okay.
It's a satire about working in a corporation.
Who'd have thunk it? Damn.
Right. Again, very short. They're like 6 episodes for 3 seasons.
Okay. Yeah.
Or like 30 minutes each.
Yeah.
Yeah. Extremely funny show and has Lance Reddick in a supporting role as the head of the company.
Oh. Okay.
Played Charles in
Yeah.
the John Wick movies.
Mm.
And yeah, he's like he he plays a guy named Christian Deville,
Yeah.
right?
Oh.
He's the Christian Devil.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically he's the devil.
Okay.
Yeah, anyway, and I watched the new DreamWorks movie Ruby Gillman, Teenage Kraken,
Oh. Okay.
right? Which was extremely dope.
Okay.
Right, I'm thinking of it in comparison to Elemental, which we covered a few weeks ago,
Hmm.
and this is far better than Elemental, right?
Okay.
And I looked at the DreamWorks last few movies,
Yeah.
and they made the new Puss in Boots,
Yeah.
they made The Bad Guys,
Yeah.
and they made The Boss Baby 2.
Yeah.
That's their last handful of movies.
Bangers.
So when you're talking about like animation, and animation is doing poorly,
Hmm.
I really forgot to mention the
DreamWorks.
exception to
Yeah.
this is DreamWorks.
Yeah.
They have been doing very well in the past like year and a half.
DreamWorks is like I struggle to think of a DreamWorks movie that I haven't enjoyed.
All right. I thought you were going to say I struggle to think of a DreamWorks movie, and I was going to be like, Shrek. Because, yeah, that's probably the most famous, but, yeah.
Probably.
So,
yeah.
are we done here?
I would like to think so. Yes.
Yeah, it's a long episode.
Very, very.
So,
long.
yeah. Thank you for listening. Please remember to rate, review, subscribe, give a like, etc.
Give 2 likes if you can.
Give 2 likes because that Henderson fuck is gone. He's gone, baby. Right. Importantly, it needs to be a 5-star review. Please subscribe on Patreon to listen to our movie commentaries. Possibly not movie commentaries going forward, as we discussed earlier.
Yeah.
You can find all our links at PAICIP.com. Please tell a PAICIP.com. Please tell a friend. Tell that friend to tell a friend. Tell a family member.
Tell everyone.
Yeah. And I think that's it.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheerio.
Au revoir.